I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
Welcome to the Horror Junkies podcast, the podcast where we discuss all things horror. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Pat.
I'm Jorge.
All right, listeners, Dylan's gone.
Ha!
So in his place, we got the boys over from the Mortuary podcast, Brock and Tanner, with us. Welcome, guys.
What up? How's it going? This is probably,
It's going good.
probably the most ambitious crossover event of all time.
It really is.
Literally, it's going to break the internet.
The audience is still clapping.
Like, who are the Avengers?
Oh, man, I'm glad we actually got this shit worked out and finally got the show
After
to
30
record.
minutes of nonsense.
Not only that, Brock and I
So
have been
sorry.
talking about doing a show together for, I think, since last month. So we
Yeah, it's been such a tease, man. I've been so excited for this, and every week I'm like, hey, are we doing
Tanner's
an
just
episode?
been walking around with like a boner. They're like,
Yeah.
when are we doing the episode?
Wait. Boners?
Wait, we
But no.
always walk with boners.
Fuck yeah.
That's the only way I
Man, y'all
walk.
get really sweaty too, right?
We
Yeah.
get extremely sweaty. Our
Well,
studio
we
is
live
always
in
hot.
Texas, so yeah, same
It's
with
like-
us. Our AC cuts off after 5, and at our job, so like we have no AC.
Yeah, it gets killer because we
That
use our
sounds-
job as our studio.
Right.
I mean, I kind of do that with my job.
It's like they're here.
It's like they're here. So real quick, just in case our listeners have never listened to your guys' podcast, you guys go ahead and just plug yourself. Tell them, about
Dude,
the deep
okay.
wonders of the Mortuary podcast.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Brock. You
Okay,
got this.
so the Mortuary podcast is an immersive discourse into the occult, paranormal, and conspiracies of the world. So what we do is we dive into some really gruesome stories, some spooky stories, and straight up mind-blowing conspiracies. And it's more of an informative podcast with some crude humor sprinkled in every now and then.
We do a lot of commentary.
Yeah.
I think after watching Halloween last night, though, the new one, we're gonna start calling ourselves investigative journalists.
Yes,
Because that's
yes,
what the
Yes.
podcasters called themselves.
I love
so
it.
That's what we are. Yeah,
I
we
love
have
it.
a good
yeah.
time.
And for our listeners, can you guys plug yourselves?
Ooh. All right, guys.
Oh,
so
Lord.
we are the Horror Junkies podcast. We are a snack-filled podcast. We come at you every week with a new episode dedicated to all things horror, be it movies, comics, art, whatever the hell else we can get our hands on. Video games. If it's got horror in there somewhere, we're talking about it, while we get extremely hairy and sweaty, and most definitely weird. That is our show.
So you're getting hairy as we speak?
Yes.
You can hear my hair growing.
You can literally just, if you listen quietly,
werewolves.
the
It's a
hair
full
follicles are growing.
It gets pretty gross in here.
Yeah, it gets gross.
Not going to lie.
But this week, last week I should say, something we've all been waiting for has finally been released. David Gordon
What was
Green's Halloween.
Oh.
Oh, yay.
Oh, yay. And with
Totally
that,
on key.
yeah. With that, we're going to talk about, Halloween 1978. We're going to talk about Halloween 2, 1981, and of course Halloween 2018. And at the end of this discussion, we'll decide what is the better sequel, Halloween 2 or the newest Halloween that just came out.
I can answer you that right now.
You shut your mouth. You let the listeners wait till the very end, Patrick. But before we get into any of that, Patrick, you have a question to ask them.
Hey, guys. Top 5 scary horror movie. Did it again.
I wasn't ready for this.
Yeah, this
Yes.
is totally on the spot. So
It's okay
I
because
guess-
Patrick can never say it correctly, and it's the funniest.
Like,
thing.
how hard is it
It's
to
the new
say?
bit.
What's your top 5 favorite scary movie? Like, you just got
No, it's
scary
the new
horror movie.
It's the new bit.
All right, what are they?
Dude, it's funny that you say that because like half the time I cannot speak and I'm a podcaster.
Yep, same here.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
totally
true.
I totally feel that. I guess I'll go ahead and take it though since Brock did the intro or whatever.
Yeah.
Or not the intro, the bio. Or
Dude, sounds good.
whatever
I'm
you
gonna
wanna
make a
call
list.
it. Yeah, this is totally gonna be off the top of my head. I am a horror fanatic, as you guys can probably imagine. So, but like I want to see by you guys' standards, what you guys think about my taste because this is gonna be in no particular order. And again, this is. A movie might come to my head later, and I might shout it out to you guys.
That's no problem at all.
If that's okay. Okay, so definitely, again, this is not an order, but definitely The Descent has to be one of my all-time favorites.
Fantastic.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah, I love the build-up. And when I first watched that movie, I actually, I really thought maybe it was just like a cave diving movie, and maybe it was gonna like kind of like the shtick of the movie was gonna be like claustrophobia or something, and like that's what was supposed to scare you. And then all of a sudden, there's like. Well, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but definitely The Descent.
Oh no!
I'm a
You spoil that movie, Tanner.
Well,
This
yeah,
is a
there's
spoiler-filled
creatures down there,
podcast.
and it totally took me by surprise when I first saw it, and I've loved it ever since.
Yeah,
So,
that's
and
a good
I
movie.
love the strong female leads as well. So
Definitely.
and then I'd have to say Rosemary's Baby is
Nice.
definitely in my top 5. That movie, it's so funny. It's really not. I mean, there's no jump scares. There's really no gore, but there's just something about that movie that by the end of it, it just like something in my stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like something really like I don't know. It really got to me for some reason.
I think it has to do a lot with like the satanic element that's behind the movie, like the fact
Right,
that
well,
the
yeah,
main
yeah.
lady
I mean,
is.
Yeah. Well, and I come from a Christian background,
Yeah.
so like that definitely like haunted me, and like most of these movies that I'm naming off are like I judge horror films by whether they stick with me or not, and like I'm sure most people do as well. So that one really did, and then the Blair Witch Project, like partially because of like its cultural relevance and really how it changed the game of horror. And then like the marketing campaign behind I could talk all day about that movie, and actually
So could we?
I know that one of you guys is in a band, and I'm in a band as well. I wanted to talk about that later, but
we will get into it.
heck yeah. We my band we have only one single out right now, but Brock shot a video for us, and the name of the song is actually called Found Footage, and the whole video really is kind of like an homage to the genre of found footage. Which like we're totally aware that it's like a dead and dying genre, but like I really love it because like the next film on my list is Paranormal Activity, because that was another movie that really like it wrecked me when I first saw it, and stuck with me for days.
Yeah, the first one
So
definitely stuck with
yeah,
me,
and
too.
then probably my fifth one, one of my first horror movies. I actually saw it in the movie theater. With one of my best friends when I was a kid. So this is probably 2000, maybe 2001, but it was Signs. Signs really was another movie that just like it changed my life, and I think that was kind of it changed my life in the sense that it was kind of the beginning of my like fascination with weird stuff, I guess. Like it, it just. I don't know, and I'm sure we could probably sit here and like talk a lot of trash about M. Night Shyamalan.
Dude, okay,
I mean, we
fuck
definitely can, but
Woody
Signs is a
Twist?
fucking great movie.
Fuck M. Night, but
yeah.
like Signs is fantastic.
He's coming back.
Yeah. Well, really, now looking back at Signs, like when I watch it now as an adult, I don't know if it really holds up. But
Oh, don't say that because now I'm scared to watch it again. I'm gonna be sad.
But I gotta say really quick, like, and I'm not trying to steal all the time, but also
no worries.
a recent movie that definitely, oh God, there's so many. I just want to talk. I could talk all day about this, but a recent movie that really stuck with me, just like all these other movies, was Gerald's Game.
Nice.
And in my
God.
opinion, that's the best Stephen King movie that's come out in the like past 10 years or whatever. But I enjoyed it a lot more than it, and I liked it. So so yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I guess my fifth one would have to be a tie between Gerald's Game and Signs. Just
go.
because
Both
like
good
with
picks.
Gerald's Game, there was so many layers.
Oh yeah,
so many
that movie,
layers.
that movie's crazy.
Like
Right.
onions.
So
I have a question for you, Tanner. Is your band called Double Crossed?
Double Crossed. Yeah, that's us.
I found you guys.
Which one of you guys is it? George that's in a band?
Yeah, it's me and Dylan. We're in a band called Engraved. We like to try to get
I have
goth
listened.
emo.
I listened to y'all's latest record or whatever. It's like what 8 songs or something.
It's 5 songs. Yeah, it's called Drug Knife.
Oh, 5. Okay, yeah. I think me and Brock both listened to the whole thing. I really enjoyed it. So I do. You guys, I don't know if you guys like. I don't want to get off on the band thing right now, but like it's really quick. I just have to ask. Do you guys know who Eco Strike is? Because I know they're a Florida band.
Yes,
Yeah, we
we
know
do.
who they are.
See, that kind of band is like kind of in the vein of what I'm into, like a lot of like the vegan straight edge stuff. And
Nice.
Double Cross isn't like that, but like those are the kind of bands I really like. I love Eco Strike.
Speaking
So-
of Vane, we just saw Vane at a free show at our friend's bar, and that was
No
fucking
way.
nuts.
Man, Vane is like in my top 10 right now.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, I'll give
Anyways,
I'll give the floor over to
back to
Brock.
work.
Sorry.
no, it's not a
Sorry.
problem. All right, Brock, I think you had plenty of
Hey,
time to come
but
up with a
wait,
5.
wait, when are we going on tour together? Fuck it, let's make it happen.
Yeah, let's. I want to come to Florida. Double Cross is gonna come to Florida, and
Horror
Gage
Junkies
is gonna come
will
to
provide.
Texas.
We can make that happen. We'll talk about it later.
Presented
Don't
by-
worry.
I'm not.
Horror
Yeah,
Junkies.
I'm not even joking. Like I'm 100% serious. Anyway,
Hell yeah.
go ahead.
We can
Brock.
make it happen. Don't worry.
Right on.
All right, Brock, you had plenty of
All right.
time, I think. What have you conjured up for us?
Okay, so a couple of mine are the same as Tanner's. So Paranormal Activity is definitely one, or I guess that whole series I really enjoy. Because when it came out, that was probably one of the first movies, the first one after I saw it that literally like stuck with me for a week or 2 weeks after I saw the movie, and totally just like had me fucking paranoid all the time. So I would say that one, and then does Alien count as a horror movie? 'Cause
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like a horror
totally
stuff.
does.
Okay, so Alien is definitely in my top 5. Silence of the Lambs,
Nice.
I would say. Let's see, that's 3. I would
Delicious.
say The Grudge,
Okay.
and that mainly like kind of what Tanner said. Like that was like one of the first movies that really like scared me when I was younger.
You know what scared me about the Grudge? The trailers. When I was younger, watching those trailers the first time, it scared the living shit out of me. I couldn't wait to see
Yeah,
the
I didn't watch it till I was an adult. Like I was like in
Oh
high school
really?
or something.
No, like my mom took me to the theaters to see it.
Yeah, my
What a
dad
great
took me.
mom.
Yes.
And it scared the shit out of me.
No, my dad took me because he knew how much it scared me when I would watch the trailer. He's like, "We're gonna go see this," and I'm like, "Fuck, this could be child abuse." But
And
it
then
wasn't.
my last one would be Evil Dead.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I just say the Evil Dead trilogy.
Yes,
So-
Yes.
Okay.
'Cause,
if
I
we're
mean,
talking about-
Evil Dead 2 is really just Evil Dead 1. So really,
it is.
It
It's
is
a
Evil
reboot.
Dead.
It's
Army
just
of
a
Darkness.
reboot with more money.
Yeah.
No, I love the Evil Dead trilogy.
Which one do you prefer, the first or the second one?
I prefer the first one, honestly.
I agree with you.
I'm going over there to fight you.
Um,
I'm just kidding.
I also love Army of Darkness. Like I have
Absolutely.
a signed Army of Darkness poster by the Chin himself hanging in my living
Bragging
room.
much, Mike.
Hey
I'm
man,
bragging.
you want to
I'm-
pick up that name you
I'm
just dropped,
fucking,
dude?
You're damn right I am. I met the Chin, okay?
Pick it. I did too.
So
The
did
Chin.
Patrick.
Crimson
I said
Chin.
hi to him.
But those
Then I
are
said I
fucking
love
good
you.
lists, man. Those are actually a lot of good movies. I would say if they're not on our list, individually, I would say
We
most of those
appreciate that.
movies are somewhere on our list somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
And we appreciate all those movies. I love the Paranormal Activity movies up to the third one.
I just like the first one.
Yeah, what? There's like 6 of them or something.
I lost count.
6?
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's,
I
there's
I
a
think
bunch
there's
of
6
them.
or 7.
There's
6 or
But
7.
yeah, the
There's
first
either
3 are the
5
ones
and a
that you really
spin-off or
just
just
need.
like-
That's it.
I don't know.
I think the first one was probably the only one that really did it for me. Because
Same
after
here.
that, I was kind of like on. I mean, the first one just felt so real. Like you could have told me that was
Yeah.
real probably when I was.
Yeah,
in-
I think that's why
in
it's like
eighth grade.
it started something crazy.
I went
back
to go
then.
see that movie by myself in theaters just because I really wanted to get spooked because I heard it was super scary, and it did. I got spooked.
Good.
It worked.
You should
Well,
be
yeah, and
spooked.
it was like it was a movie that really felt like a cultural event. Like you were,
Yeah.
like it just felt like an event, you know. Like I mean, just everyone had to go see it, and I,
Oh,
I just
yeah.
love that when a movie.
They just
can
did a
do
really
that.
good marketing campaign for that
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
by showing the
Well, yeah,
audience
because they
in the
had.
theater
Yeah, that was what I was
jumping
gonna
and
say. The
stuff.
people getting scared by it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The theaters had to demand it to show at their theater. So like, I don't know.
I remember.
I just
yeah,
love
that was
that.
a crazy time. Crazy time to be alive back then. It's
What was
crazy
that, like
horror.
2008.
2008, some shit like that. But I guess unless you guys want to ask us, we can get down and dirty into the world of Halloween.
I mean,
Okay,
shoot,
here, this one's for you, Mike.
Oh God.
Top 2 favorite rom-coms. Go.
Rom-coms? Shit, got you. Sweet Home Alabama.
The fuck?
And
what the fuck?
fucking. I'm just kidding on that one. I just can't think of any other movies. Rom-com. P.S. I Love You is not really a rom-com, is it?
No.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, bro.
That's
I
a good
hate you
movie.
both.
There
Great
you
fucking
go.
movie.
Okay.
I
Some things
will
I hate
say
about
that
you
I have
with
watched
Heath
a
Ledger.
lot of rom-coms.
It's 50 First Dates and Along Came Polly. That's the 2 only.
Those are great. Along Came Polly's hilarious.
Yes.
Look, if it doesn't have Amy Schumer in it, then it's not a rom-com.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh God, that was a good one. That was a good question. All
All
right,
right, let's get into it.
let's get into
Sweet
this
Home
fucking
Alabama, Mike.
Reese Witherspoon, man, get off my fucking back. All right, let's get into
God
this fucking
damn it!
shit. The first movie up for discussion is going to be Halloween 1978, brought to you by the man himself that we dedicated a whole fucking month to, John
Carpenter.
Also written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. Got to mention her. And for those of you who really don't know about Halloween,
Who are you?
Why are you here?
I was going to say, why are you listening to this podcast?
Yeah. I mean, it's about a kid who killed his sister on Halloween night. 15 years later, he escapes to seek death on all those people on Halloween
babysitters.
night. On babysitters. It's Michael Myers, people. If you don't know who Michael Myers is, which I find that hard to believe, you just need to do some research because he's probably one of the most infamous slashers of them all.
I don't know, though. There
started
wasn't
it.
like a Michael versus Freddy or Michael versus Jason, though.
That's because when we talk about Halloween in the series, it's best if you don't recognize him anymore. It's just like he's in the darkness. We don't talk about the movie with Busta Rhymes in it doing the kung fu.
Why
Oh,
not?
God.
We don't go
There
that
can't
far.
be 2 of us.
Should we
They're no
clarify for the
lie.
listeners that this is
What was
not
that?
Mike Myers as well? Like the Austin Powers.
Yeah, I
Mike
mean,
Myers.
Goldmember was my favorite Halloween movie.
Oh my god.
God. And I think the reason why you don't have like a Michael Myers versus someone is because Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger are both like supernatural beings. I mean, that could be said to Michael
guess that's
Myers,
true.
depending on
Pure evil.
which spectrum you're going with. If he's just a serial killer, that's
So
or
you
is he
don't.
just-
I was gonna say, yeah, you don't think Michael Myers is supernatural or has any supernatural like?
Bro, he eats bullets for breakfast.
I totally think
Without any milk.
I definitely think that he has some sort of supernatural element to him.
Pure
Yeah.
evil.
I mean, yeah, with the whole, in the original Halloween, Dr. Loomis talking about like, I met that boy 15 years ago.
That's like the only good line in that movie.
It really is. And speaking of that, what are all of your first impressions of Halloween? What do you remember the first time you saw it to rewatching it now and seeing it with newer eyes?
Definitely.
I remember watching it with my mom when I was like, I think in kindergarten, and it
Nice.
scared the shit out of me.
Fuck yeah.
I think it was also the first set of titties I saw.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Titties.
Thanks, Mom.
Bloody boobies.
Bloody boobies. What about you guys over here, Patrick and George?
I remember that intro. Just getting hyped for the movie. I watched. First time I saw Halloween, I was like 11,
mm-hmm.
and it was with my dad. He's like, "You need to watch this. Like, this is what brought up all the slashers." I saw like Friday the 13th and like Freddy before I even saw Halloween,
Oh, okay.
and then just watching it younger and just kept it going.
Mm-hmm.
Every Halloween I watch it, and every year it's just like I recognize that it's not a perfect film at all,
Yeah.
but I love it.
Yeah.
I love the feel of it. Michael Myers has just the shape. It's fucking
perfect.
perfect. It's so, I don't know, it's so effective, and it's so like looking at the problems the movie had and like it was a low budget film.
Mm-hmm.
For what he pulled off, you got yourself a good horror movie.
He started something.
Yeah, and like it goes down. I believe like it's The Shining and The Exorcism, and then Halloween needs to be in that list too. You know?
I got you. I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
George?
The score. From
2 words for you.
dude,
The score.
The score. Literally, just
Yeah.
John Carpenter at his
Iconic.
best, like always. Just from the beginning, just the music, the intro, Michael Myers' song,
Yeah.
and like just everything else that like just like builds up with all like the amazing cinematography on top of that. It's just phenomenal. for its time too.
Especially for its time. How about you, Tanner?
Huh. I think I probably just saw it in pieces growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Every Halloween, my family spent the night we didn't sleep over, but we spent Halloween night at my great grandmother's house. Like, she's just like this sweet old lady, but Halloween was her favorite holiday, not Christmas, not Thanksgiving. And so
cool
I just have a lot of memories of like, my great grandmother. And we like before we would go out trick or treating, she'd make us like 100 hot dogs. It was ridiculous. There was always like some kind of classic slasher on TV while we were, in our costumes. So like I think probably growing up, like that was my first. What am I trying to say? Like just seeing it in pieces growing up. Like and then it wasn't until I got a little bit older, until I was in like high school maybe, that I actually watched it. But I definitely didn't watch it with a critical eye.
Yeah,
So,
true. Yeah. When I look at movies now today, especially doing this, podcast,
It ruins it.
it really does, man. It gets you. Because
Yeah.
back when I was a kid, you really don't have that critique, that critic eye. You're just kind of watching it to watch it. And,
You're going along for the ride.
yeah. And I remember when I first watched Halloween, because my first introduction was Hellraiser, and then I started watching Jason and all that kind of stuff. I remember watching it like late night and just being like, "This is so cool!" Like, and I think I was like, every year I was either Jason or Michael Myers for Halloween.
Well, your name is Mike.
And my name is Mike, so it makes sense. And
You're
that's just how
you're a big boy.
I am a big boy, so I fit the shape. But yeah, I was really pulled to it. I mean, like Patrick said, it's not a perfect movie. There are definitely a lot of problems with it.
Definitely the acting's not good.
Yeah, I mean, given the budget as well. But I definitely, it's one of those movies that I always like to watch, too. Even, I just went and saw the original Halloween in theaters, 3 nights before the new one came out, just because they were, it was, its 40th anniversary.
So, how's it hold up?
It doesn't. I have a lot of problems, and we'll discuss those now.
Good, you shit on this movie, I'll shit on yours.
I'm not going to shit on this movie.
No.
My major big shit point in this movie comes with the characters...
Annie?
No, not Annie. It comes with the boyfriend and girlfriend that were in the van drinking. God, what are their fucking
Are
names?
you talking about the kids that fuck?
I think it's John and someone else. John and Nancy, I think.
Yeah, you're talking about the kid with the glasses that gets pinned to the wall with a knife.
Yes, that guy.
Which is,
Because he
physically
literally
impossible.
says, I was so happy when he died because he goes, "Oh, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to take your clothes off. Then I'm going to take my clothes off. Then I'm going to take Stephanie's clothes off." And Stephanie is a fucking child.
Dude, I didn't realize that at all. I remember hearing that line. I just watched that movie the other day, and I was like, who's he talking about? But now that just totally
He's
wrecked
talking about a fucking kid about
That is
taking
so
her clothes off.
horrible.
When I watched this in the movie theater, I was like,
What?
wait. I always thought he said Annie. Like he was talking about her friend Annie, the older chick. No, he said Stephanie. And I'm like, wait, that's the little girl. I'm like, this fucking perv.
My wife caught that.
So did 70s audiences laugh at that? Did they think that was just
I wonder, teenagers.
Yeah, I showed my wife had never seen this before, and so I showed it to her I don't know, 3 weeks ago or something, and that was the first thing she said, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I didn't even catch it until she pointed it out. I was like, "Wait."
Well, she's a mom. She's got that
what the
radar.
fuck?
Yeah, yeah, right. Well, not only that, it's just thrown out there so nonchalantly, they're just hanging out drunk and about to go inside, and he just throws out he's gonna rip some kid's clothes off. Whoa, pump the brakes there, guy. You're fucking up the wrong tree.
Jesus.
So are we just kind of like doing this, or are we starting from the beginning of the film and break? How are we?
We kind of jump around.
We
jump
try to
around.
go in order, but it just
We
it
can
never
talk-
does.
I
Okay,
called
well,
you out.
No. There's just because I was gonna I was gonna make a critique, and I didn't want to. I mean, it's
No, you're totally cool to go
Wait,
wherever
are you
you want.
asking,
I just really felt like that needed to be addressed first.
Yeah.
for sure.
Are you asking if we're jumping between the movies, or are we just?
No. I
No,
know
no.
we're on the first one.
Okay,
I know we're on the
okay.
first one.
Okay,
But
yeah.
here's my problem with because I'm gonna sound like not a fan, but I'm a huge if we're talking about franchises, not just movies alone, but franchises, Halloween is definitely in my top probably 3. So I love it. I want to make sure to make that clear. I love Halloween. I love the first one. I love John
Now we
Carpenter.
get shit on it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, kind of like your brother or something. You love your brother,
Exactly.
but you make fun of him. So, anyway, I'm struggling to find the motivation for Michael like being so hellbent on killing Laurie. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because especially like with this new one, like spoiler alert, they retconned like, you know, the entire. I mean, what I'm trying to say is Laurie and Michael Myers are not related, so it's like, why? What's his motivation? Maybe you guys can
Yeah.
answer that for me.
Well, I think
The one that got away.
No,
Am I
yeah,
right?
yeah. So what I like, what I really do like about the original, and I agree with you, like where is the motive behind, you know, his obsession with Laurie Strode? And I think it really starts when, you know, she walks up to the Myers house to drop the keys off for the open house viewing or whatever her
Yeah,
father's doing, and he sees her and he just stares at her from like, you know, in the darkness. I think him as a serial killer, you know, like. They're usually obsessed. They usually have their like types, and you guys know because you've talked about serial killers on your show.
Right.
They typically
because we're
have
serial killers.
Kind of experts.
yeah. So like I feel like it's maybe like Laurie was just his type, and Laurie was the ultimate goal of that night. Like that was like the trophy he wanted was to kill her.
Which is why I think it's beautiful that they retconned the whole him being related to her thing, because like that was his motive, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like, no, he's just pure evil and he's just
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
He's just a
And
serial killer on a
that
rampage.
adds on to Michael's like psyche and like how he is, because he's like they don't explain why he's after Laurie.
What
Yeah.
if he was
And
in love
that's
with
fucking
her?
great.
I mean, that's another thing. He could.
Like, what if he just saw her and was like instantly infatuated with her?
Yeah.
And just
well,
like,
then he's a fuckboy. But then
Michael Myers, the fuckboy.
the fuck boy. But I mean, like, I get what you're saying, and I mean, like, not that like we're gonna go into Halloween 2, but you know, Halloween 2 kind of throws it out there that somehow Laurie, in her immense pain of the night, of the same night, the events that happened earlier in that night, she's having all these dreams about him as a child. Like, it was so like thrown in there last
Yeah.
minute. It feels like that it doesnesn't make sense, and I've always hated that.
Yeah.
They went on that whole sister. So I love that the new movie took that out. Completely.
Yeah, well, I think maybe John Carpenter was trying to address those criticisms. Maybe I mean I'm assuming like people were smart enough to like catch on to that from when the first film, because like Halloween 2, like you said, it came out like what 3 years after, so that's plenty of time to like figure out, you know, like how they're going to address that. And so I don't know, it's just that was one of my issues with it. And then like especially the new one, like I loved it. I know we're not on that one right now. I loved it, but like 40 years have gone by and like he's like in his mid 60s and he's just as hellbent on killing her. You know, I don't know. We can come.
We'll discuss that when we get there.
I mean, I got my heart broken once, but we don't talk about what I did then.
Oh Jesus, you shut! I don't even know what you're talking about, so we're not even going to bring it up.
No, I just drank a lot.
But yeah, I mean, like I agree with you that like, you know, the whole like what is his ambition? Like why?
Right.
Why does he escape from the movies after it comes like with Michael killing his sister in the most pathetic killing ever? Because there's hardly any blood until like you see her on the floor and there's like they threw ketchup on her.
But why
There's
is he stabbing the
Low
air?
budget.
no wounds at all either.
Low budget.
He's just stabbing the air.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, I just gotta
budget.
say though, whenever that POV, that whole like point of view sequence, like when kid Michael Myers like pulls the knife out of the drawer or whatever, dude, I don't know. I love that. I love the look of it so much. Like,
Oh yeah, that's sick.
like how
I
his
think-
arm looks. Like I don't know how they did that, but it almost looks like animated or something. I know it's not, but
I mean,
I
I
love
think
that
they
whole
literally just
sequence.
put a mask on top, like in front of the
the
camera, and just got it to
Uh-huh.
a point where it looked really good, where you can see through the eye holes, kind
Yeah.
of.
yeah.
But no, I agree. That point of view that they gave Michael as a kid and used throughout the films, throughout all of the films, is really cool, and I love that. That feeling of walking in his shoes, seeing
Yeah, I
what
mean,
the
it-
killer
yeah.
sees.
And-
even
and
like
lo-
even like shots, like I noticed something like when I watched it the other night, like that I never noticed before, but and I had headphones in too, so like you can like even shots that you're not seeing out of Michael's eyes, they still like they're like the camera shots are very stalkerish, and you can
Yeah.
hear
Yes.
this like breathing inside of the mask, you know, like this, you know, and it's just like every angle of the movie just makes you feel like you're being watched almost, or like the characters are being watched, and I don't know, like that aspect of it was brilliant. I really
it's like those continuous shots, like panning around a corner and stuff like that. Like, they're
Right.
so effective.
Those were like super effective shots in most slasher movies. I love I love them.
And that's the thing, Michael. Like with Halloween, it started up that whole slasher. Like the rules in slasher films.
Yeah.
You don't kill the virgin. You kill the kids that are smoking cigarettes and having sex, right?
And they never wanted to do that.
What?
They never wanted to set up the whole like virginity would save you.
Which is probably why Michael went after her. He's like,
They were like,
I must kill the virgin.
No, he was just literally like Carpenter and Deborah were like, you know, we never wanted that, but the reason why people having sex get killed is because they're so preoccupied that they don't notice the killer behind them.
Yeah, like
So
John,
that started
John
up a
Carpenter,
whole-
he's-
What was
Go
that,
ahead,
Tanner?
I was just saying John Carpenter has commented on that. He said like he wasn't trying to comment on like the sexual politics of the time or anything like that. Like it just happened that way.
It just happened,
just
and
the
every
70s.
fucking movie followed it.
Yeah.
If you show your titties, you die.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
became a
and-
formula.
And that's what it is. Like, if anything, Halloween has. It didn't mean to, or it wasn't intended on to, but it made like pretty much the blueprint of how to make a slasher film.
Mm-hmm.
From eras on, like from the 80s and 90s. Definitely.
By the way, little side tidbit like that I think would be really interesting for like y'all's podcast to look into is I saw this video, and I know I'm like rabbit trailing right now, but I saw this video on YouTube that was talking about every slasher movie, like pretty much ever, actually didn't copy Halloween. They copied a movie called Black Christmas. Have you guys? Or
That's true as well. Yeah.
It is very true. Black Christmas.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting. Like it wasn't really Halloween that started this. Like it was really, and Black Christmas probably copied Psycho. So anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
It all.
Psycho. It all reverts back to Psycho.
Yeah. Of
Always. But like one of my other major problem like is in the beginning of the film when Dr. Loomis and the nurse are driving, and they roll up to the institution and it's raining, and the patients are wandering the yard. And then all of a sudden, you know, they stop, and then we're assuming it's Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Because we don't know yet. Just climbs on top of the car, pulls the nurse out, and drives away. Who the fuck taught him how to drive?
Loomis.
Yeah, that's
He's like, "Come
also
on,
been
kid."
like a major criticism of of Halloween. Is how did
Yeah,
he
like
learn?
if
I
he's
mean,
been
'cause-
locked up for 15 years,
How's he learn how to drive?
they don't teach you how to drive.
It's the evil, Mike.
It's the evil. The evil
Well,
taught
and,
me.
Hey,
The
that's
evil
actually-
drives him.
That's actually no joke because like I don't want to get too like like hypercritical or whatever, but really like
Yeah.
Michael Myers is kind of like more of like a force of nature or something.
Which
Yeah.
know,
is,
like-
which
like,
he
he's
became
like-
to be. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like giving him like any kind of human. Like I can't even imagine Michael Myers eating something, or like taking a dump. Like I know that sounds funny, but like like for real, like anything that would humanize him, like I just can't.
Yeah.
I don't like imagine. Like I hated Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, how it showed
Yes.
Michael Myers' face so dang much. Like that bothered
Yeah.
me so much because he's supposed to be like I said, like a force of like a ghost or something, but who's fleshed
Yeah.
out,
And I
and
mean,
so like.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
Keep
that's
going.
cool. I was just saying, like, just like addressing like how he learned how to drive or whatever. Well, really, like he's like honestly, he's probably has like some kind of demon in him or something. Like some kind of demon that has knowledge of like I don't know what else you would call it, but some kind of like evil spirit that just
Yeah.
like he's not
always thought it
a
was
child.
funny.
No,
he's
is,
not.
Like, it is funny because
He's
like
been locked up for 15 years. Think He
Right.
can just fucking drive? Like,
yeah,
And
no,
well?
that bothered me too. Like when I started watching it with a critical eye, like that really bothered me. I was like, okay, I mean,
Yeah.
because he's got a lot of other social ability that I just feel like he wouldn't have.
yeah, I definitely agree. And I guess, I mean, like, if you go towards the realm of, like, he is, like, this force of evil, he's not really of this world, or there's something out of this world that's driving him, I guess you can kind of, like, turn a blind eye to that, but it's kind of hard when you know the backstory, and, like, he was a kid, and then, he was locked up for 15 years, and he escaped, like, he knew where he was going.
Yeah.
Like, how did he know how to get to Haddonfield? How far away
Yeah.
is that institution from Haddonfield?
He Googled it.
Exactly. Were there Google Maps? And the other things like I understand him
Maybe there was
killing
a map in the car.
Maybe, but then he wouldn't know how to read a map. I mean, the people locked up in these institutions that are for criminally insane individuals. Like, yeah, they have free time, but they're not fucking studying maps and learning how to read a map. They're not. I mean, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't planning on it, and they just escaped, and then he's like, "All right, time to go."
All right, time to go to Haddonfield. So like, those are my main I guess we'll say hypercritical analysis of this movie. I mean, it's a fun movie.
Yeah, and it's like he wasn't thinking about that when he's making the movie. I
need someone who's gonna kill a lot of babysitters,
and I need him to get to the house. Let's just
put
him in a car.
Put him in the car.
Yeah. I mean, the movie's even the technically the movie's not perfect either. There's a lot of like shots of like sound guys popping up of the bushes.
Oh yeah.
You see a lot of like. There's a scene where you actually see John Carpenter's like cigarette smoke.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah.
Which scene is that?
It's the scene where Laurie's talking to Annie when they first see Michael when they're walking.
Huh.
Yeah.
Really?
And they're talking right by that bush. You actually can see the sound guy pop up. And then you see John Carpenter's cigarette smoke in the shot.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to watch it again and like freeze frame it, see if I can see that. And tie some red strings around my room and stuff to figure it out.
Another thing, the kids watching The Thing from Outer Space or whatever.
The Thing from Another Planet?
Yes.
Oh, God, I don't even know.
Which years later he remade.
Well, no. On the fucking TV, it shows The Thing.
Yeah, it shows The Thing.
Yeah, that was the one from the 50s, though.
Yeah, but like that movie is called what is that movie called?
The Thing from Outer Space, isn't it?
No,
The Thing from
it's from another. God, we literally.
I thought it was just called The Thing.
It's The Thing from Another World.
Yeah, it says that right under it.
But it just shows up The Thing on the television screen.
Yeah, they have the same intro.
Yeah,
or the same title card, whatever.
And intro.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like how he's watching. Like, I wonder if that was like a teaser for people back then. Like,
I don't think so because I'm pretty sure he didn't know he was going to remake that movie.
Yeah,
like that movie came out years later.
Well,
so
he probably.
Like I said, this was his. Go.
I was just saying it's probably one of his favorite movies. That's why he let it show
true.
in the movie, and that's why he remade it.
Let's talk about some deaths.
There's only not a lot to talk
the
about.
The best death, dude. The car scene when she's in the car, she's getting choked out.
When Annie dies,
and he like slices at her throat, and she just goes,
and it's just fucking
over.
Kool-Aid falling. There's no gash mark or anything.
Literally.
Like
foggy glass just goes,
They couldn't like literally just like try to do some special effects and have like that throat like ripping open effect. Like I'm sure like special effects back then weren't super expensive. They could have maybe have gotten it.
Well, that's another thing about this movie is like there's really no gore in it. Like,
there's none.
There's like none at all. There's bloody titties like we talked about earlier, and then like
the body count's pretty low too.
And the body count is extremely low.
What did he kill? He killed a
5
sister.
people.
He killed his sister. He killed a dog.
He killed
he didn't kill the nurse.
There was
the
three
Forgot
teenagers.
about the dog.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 teenagers.
Which 3 teenagers? Oh yeah.
The couple and Annie.
I forgot Guy.
Guy.
That's it.
That's
he
it.
killed 5. I think he only kills 5 people.
Yeah,
I mean, I could be wrong, and I'll Google real quick.
Yeah, I think it is 5.
You don't count the dog as people.
That's
The
not
only
true.
reason I said 5 is because in the new one they said Michael Myers killed 5 people that year or whatever.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
only
I
5
thought that
people.
was just like something you had in your
in
pocket of knowledge.
literally like they said that in the movie.
Literally.
We just watched it last night, so it's fresh on our minds.
So he only killed 5 people.
That's ridiculous.
With no blood.
That's such with hardly any blood.
Hey, it's still great.
You know, there are a lot of problems like later in the movie when like he's actually attacking Laurie Strode. When he's in the house, her acting is not the greatest.
Annie's is even worse.
Oh God, they're all pretty bad actors.
Okay, that brings about another little critique I have. I wanted to see what you guys thought.
Okay.
Okay, so why if his motivation was to kill Laurie Strode, why did it take him so long to get to her? Like, why do you have to go through all these different people?
To tame the meat.
To tame the meat.
He had to figure out what he was doing first.
Yeah, because I agree with you because it's like he so ruthlessly and effortlessly killed everyone, but
She was
not
special.
Laurie.
She was special.
Laurie, it took 4 times to try to get, and he failed every time.
Another thing too is we do see his face in this movie.
We do.
Ooh.
In the upstairs hallway after she stabbed him in the eye with the clothes hanger.
But it was really brief and not
Yeah.
anything like the Rob Zombie ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely agree. I didn't like seeing his. I never really noticed that before. On my rewatch recently, I didn't like that.
Yeah, and
But
I'll go back
did
with
you catch that in
when we
the-
talk about the new movie?
Yeah, okay, that's what I was about to say.
Because I did not
Never
like
mind.
Michael until he put the mask on. I'm like, I don't like this.
Okay, first of all, wait. Now that you bring that up, too, have you ever played with a wire coat hanger, dude? Those things are flimsy as fuck. How
No,
does
they're
that
not.
knock
No.
Michael out?
Hey, no, they're not.
Yes, they
The
are.
accuracy she
I'm about to go
had.
Have you
Yeah.
ever
They're
played with
actually
your
very
eyeball,
sharp.
though? Those are fragile as fuck.
Yeah, your eyeball is very fragile, dude. Like she wired, she
I don't
doubled
like
it
it.
and shoved it.
I don't like it.
Man, your
don't
you ever
like
eat
it.
those gumbo eyeball things?
No.
They're good.
Okay.
We're
trying
Prove
to
us
find
wrong.
logic.
But wait,
This guy
go get a
don't die.
wire
Well,
hanger.
Someone refresh me. This movie ends with Dr. Loomis unloading 6 rounds into Michael Myers and he falls off the balcony, correct?
I shot him 6 times. I
I
even
sh-
shot him in the
Right.
heart.
I-
He won't die.
Correct. But that's how it ends, right?
Well, it
Does it
ends.
show-
he falls out the balcony, and then the camera pans away, and then when it pans back, he's gone.
Okay.
Yes.
And then it does it show Laurie with the cops and everything?
In the other movie?
No, in the
I
original,
don't
in the
think so.
first one. No?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think
actually
that shows
know,
until the
honestly.
second
I
So,
can't
like,
remember.
this is where I kind of don't like Halloween 2. So the beginning of the movie
Are we
is
going
literally.
straight to
Hold on. Just let me say it.
All right.
The beginning of the Halloween 2 is literally the fucking last 10 minutes of Halloween.
Why don't you like that?
Because it
I thought it was
feels
cool.
like they literally wrote Halloween 2 when they wrote Halloween, and then like, okay, we got to cut this movie here because we don't have any
That's
more
not the
money.
case at all, then.
I didn't like it.
All right.
First off, Laurie's hair completely different.
Well, it's because it was like a couple years after the movie was.
If you're gonna start a movie off like that, you better fucking try.
That's true.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all.
All right, but let's go back to Halloween.
Okay.
Let's talk about that as the whole,
No.
as it is.
As it is, it's a good movie.
Great fucking movie.
I'm mad now.
I love it because of the atmosphere and I don't know. You can't, if you're a horror fan, you gotta at least appreciate what Halloween has done.
Definitely.
Well, and you have to consider its time period, and you have to
Yes.
consider like its cultural relevancy and what it did for the genre. 100%.
No, I definitely agree. I'm just
To
talking
enjoy
about
it.
That's
it.
another
Yeah,
thing. You
it's-
can critique a movie that you saw a week ago that you haven't seen in 30 years, but like when it comes down to it, when it was released and what it did for film and the horror genre itself, you can't be like, "Oh, this was stupid, so
Yeah.
this movie fucking sucks."
Sucks. This movie doesn't
Right.
suck. By all means, it's a fun watch. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those movies that will continue to be watched through the theons.
I can't
Yeah.
wait to show my
Aliens, right-
kids.
there's aliens right now watching Halloween for the first time. They're freaking the fuck out.
I'm gonna make my kids watch Halloween.
But yeah, no, I agree. What this movie did for film, especially in the horror genre,
Yeah.
is it's undeniable. You
If
know,
we didn't have this movie, we wouldn't have Scream.
exactly, and that's one of my
To
favorite.
make fun of this movie.
That's one of my favorite movies.
That's not a world I want to be in.
But I mean, like, any last words on Halloween? Like,
I mean, I think I said all I can. I love it. I
just-
recognize its flaws, and I still, like, it's a solid 10 for me.
yeah.
Of course.
What about you guys?
Know, the Mortuary, we love it, but I just gotta say, did you guys notice, like, at the very beginning, like, right after kid Michael Myers kills his sister and his parents, like, pull his mask off, they're just like, Michael? And then they just stare at him. And then
Like
the
5
camera-
minutes.
the
They didn't
camera's
know it
just,
was
like,
their
panning
kid.
back slowly, like zooming out.
You would
Yeah.
feel like it was almost like the end of a movie. You're like,
Right.
oh, this movie's done already? Shit. Cut cue.
Cue poetic outro music.
Yeah. Just go ahead and play the theme song all over again. And then that kind of ties into Halloween 2 in like
Yeah.
with the parents and they die.
All right, so just give your rating on the first one, then we'll go
So
into it.
I mean, I'll give it an 80%.
All right. 80? Oh,
An
that's what we're doing now?
80%.
That's an 8?
That's 8 out of 10.
Yeah, all right, cool. You said 80. I'm like, what are we doing here now?
8 divided by 10 times 100.
Oh, God, math. Too high for that.
All right, George.
Dang, I don't know. I can't come up with one.
I said 10.
How
Even
many
with the
how
flaws.
many jack-o'-lanterns, George?
9 jack-o'-lanterns out of 10.
Okay.
How many
There you
stabs
go.
at your sister?
Yeah.
What about you guys over there? What would you
9 dead
if you wanted to
babysitters out
make
of 10.
some weird number?
Man, I mean, because like,
Not this is.
I would say for nostalgic purposes and for
There it is.
and for what it is historically, I'd give it a 9.
There you go. I like
Alright.
that.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. After all of my harsh criticism, I'm still gonna give it a 9, just because.
There you go.
I can't
I
give it a
just
perfect
love it.
10, but a 9. A 9.
No way. Too many flaws to be a perfect 10, but definitely.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you guys, and that's why I give it like an 8. You know, it's nostalgia and what
It's
it
the
did
better
for film.
movie out of all the whole franchise.
Agreed. Well, I
Yep.
agree with that.
Or you-
Minus the new one.
okay,
whatever.
okay.
I was gonna say
Okay,
I really
I'll give
enjoyed
it to
the
that.
new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say,
really
we're-
enjoyed it.
I'm
We're not
about
there
to-
yet, though, Brock.
We're not there
Alright,
yet.
yeah.
So
On to the next one.
I'm holding it.
onward, boys. Halloween 2, 1981, directed by Rick Rosenthal.
Rosenthal.
Written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill.
All right.
This is literally the same movie happening on the same night, but in a hospital.
I like the setting. Creepy hospital. Like almost.
It's only creepy because they keep turning the fucking lights off. Hospitals are well lit,
All right,
everybody.
all right.
They don't just turn lights off in
Not on
hospitals.
Halloween.
All right.
And there's
all right.
nobody at this hospital.
No one.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It was the void all over
Major
again.
problem. There's no one at the... Well, no, the void makes sense. They were moving hospitals. This is a major hospital in Haddonfield. Why would...
Hey-
there was
hey,
no
real
one
quick.
else.
It's a
It's
small
Halloween
town,
night.
right?
Who's going to the hospital? Everyone's getting diabetes eating candy.
The kid that bit into a fucking apple with a razor blade.
Yeah, that kid.
Man.
Hey, Brock and I have a quick confession. We actually didn't watch this. I mean, we've seen it, of course, but
Yeah.
we
Oh,
we
you
didn't
didn't
watch it
rewatch it.
recently, so we're gonna be going off of like just memory. Of,
Oh,
Okay,
it's
that's fine.
that's purely okay. because
Everything is ruined.
I
No,
watched this
we do that all the
recently,
time.
and I was like, why?
This
am
show
I
is
watch-
ruined.
It's ruined. Soiled.
It's ruined. Soiled it.
Soiled it. For all of you SpongeBob fans
Nah.
out there.
No, it's okay. Sometimes there's a movie that we watch and I just don't remember to watch it, and I'm like, I have to go by memory.
Or
Yeah.
Mike gets mad and doesn't watch the ending.
That's true. Or I get so mad I don't watch the
Go
ending. American
American
Psycho
Mary
2.
and Ghost,
No,
Ghost
I
of
love
Mars.
American Mary. It's fucking American Psycho 2.
Yeah, it was
I
American
finished that
Psycho
shit.
2.
And Ghost of Mars.
And
you
Ghost
see
of
the
Mars.
end.
All right, so
Can't believe you missed the
this
end of that.
movie, it doesn't even have a good score on Rotten Tomatoes. So like, even like Halloween, the original has like a 79, which is
Yeah.
solid. This movie has like a 20 something.
Okay.
And like I said, I don't like how it starts. Like if you're gonna start a movie that continues for the same night, you know, years on, at least try to get the hair right. I mean, like that's a big thing. Like her hair was huge and frizzy.
This
like,
is killing them.
and then all of a sudden, like it starts up, and then it's just her with short hair and completely different, and it just doesn't. Like they could have cut that out and picked up with her being in the fucking cops with the cops and shit or something.
Yeah.
Like it, I just don't like that intro. I think the
Okay.
intro was not well thought out. I think
Right.
it was just like this is an easy way to continue the story. Like I know sequels are like a continue of the story, but like this just literally felt like John Carpenter and Deborah Hill wrote this entire long ass movie. We're like, shit, we don't have the funding for it. Let's cut it here, and then hopefully someone will, you know, because he never wanted to direct a sequel to this movie. He
No.
just wanted Halloween. That was
Yeah.
it. Hence why he didn't direct this. But he gave them a script to use, so it kind of feels like he had this already written.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like the director who originally directed this caught the feel of the first one correctly.
I agree.
There is definitely more gore in this movie and a lot more kills,
Yes, the kill count
Which-
jumps up, and the kill scenes are actually
which
cool.
was that was John Carpenter's idea, not this. If you look in the politics of making this movie being made, he didn't want a lot of gore. He wanted to keep the
Nerd.
same feel from the first movie. It was John Carpenter that added in the gore because by the time 2 came out, movies already were added in gore, and they're like, oh, Halloween needs to be more gory.
Well, I mean, also let's
And
go
that
ahead
was a
and factor
critical-
in
Yeah,
that
and he had a bigger budget.
by $2.2 million.
Yeah.
Good.
That's
God.
how, you know, the budget, and the budget, it doesn't even really show.
No.
If you think about it, like,
Yeah.
What was the budget
like-
for the first movie? Like 300,000 or something. Like and, like, it was
300,000
for
the
Really
first
low,
one.
and like they recorded it in like less than 2 weeks.
yeah. And then, like, this next movie, $2.5 million.
Okay.
Where the
you can't
fuck did
tell
that
at
money
all.
go?
That is
All the
insane.
fucking random people that came in the movie and got killed.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
And the
I
gore.
thoroughly enjoy Halloween 2.
Me too.
Hey,
I
maybe
enjoy
they
this
used
movie.
it to build a hospital that nobody was ever going to be in. Before.
We want a real hospital since no one will let us use theirs.
No, but the element of alright, so he's a masked man on Halloween night, right?
Yep.
So the movie could have been a lot better where if that was the setting where they're looking for Michael and it's a guy in a mask on Halloween night.
So kind of like the new one.
In a sense.
Okay. I'm just
Not
saying.
really.
They did it in the new one.
Like
They're looking-
one scene.
We're not there yet.
We're not there.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
talking
We're not
about-
there yet.
But no, I just feel like the hospital's cool and it's creepy and it's
Yeah.
dark and it's a really good setting to use him as the shape, but they really didn't effectively use the space.
Yeah, I agree.
Like we got Laurie fucking Strode hobbling through the hallways.
the fucking scene where he takes that girl and burns her. in the
that was
hot water,
cool.
That was cool.
That was cool.
And
Is
Jason
that
X
about the
took
hot
it
tub?
and reversed it to where it freezes her face and
Yeah,
face
the
smashes.
fucking hospital has a hot tub,
Yeah.
And they were gonna have sexy time,
and they didn't. They had no sexy time. Hitman got killed naked.
but we got titties again.
And then we got titties in a runtime about 35 minutes.
You knew.
I was like, oh boy, titties. Mark it down. What do you guys think of Halloween 2? Like, what are your guys' thoughts?
From what you
Like,
remember.
Yeah,
from what you remember, like,
Well, I feel like I first of all, I probably differ from you guys in this particular area, but I personally I'm not turned off. But when a horror movie doesn't have a lot of gore,
Yeah.
or maybe I'm a
Me
prude,
neither.
but only because I
No.
feel like it forces the maker, like whoever's making the movie, to be more creative with, like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not that Halloween 2 was by any means creative at all, but I just that like initially that doesn't turn me, like, I'm totally fine with not a lot, like I loved A Quiet Place. And there wasn't a lot of gore in that, and so like I'm totally fine with that because of like I think it forced them to be more creative. However, like my initial reaction for Halloween 2 is that I really just I don't like it. I'm not.
it
feel
drags.
like-
It drags.
Yeah, like Loomis, he's so worthless. Like he was so useless in the first one, and he continues to be pretty useless in the second one.
Hey, he's just
And,
a fucking doctor wielding a gun, giving orders to cops.
Yeah, and
He
when
says,
like,
"No,
just,
we
like,
must find him."
He's always
Like-
walking around and just like, I don't know. And then like you guys were saying, like I just feel like a lot of the kills were maybe they were like, okay, so how can we capitalize on what we think people liked about the first Halloween,
Yeah.
which was the kills. But I don't think that's what people liked about the first Halloween. So I
No,
think,
they
Like
liked
the atmosphere.
the suspense and
exactly.
the atmosphere they created.
yeah, and I think the
Which I
second
think
one
he
lacked
got-
that.
Yeah. Definitely it did lack, but I felt like he got the atmosphere of Michael walking around being like
When he was
being the shape.
when he was trailing someone. So
Yes.
like when the security
Yeah.
officer goes to check in on like why the power or the phones aren't working, you know, that whole scene where he's like opening the locks that are already unlocked, which
Right.
why are they unlocked? And they're not even smashed, mind you.
No.
They literally were opened like with a key, so maybe someone just didn't do their job. I don't know.
Maybe Michael found the key.
Maybe he found the key, but like that whole suspense, like where you're in like this sub level of the hospital and Michael's somewhere in the distance because
Yeah.
he's just lurking. Like I love that. I just don't think once you got up into the hospital,
Right.
I don't think it worked as well. Yeah, they showed security camera footage of him walking around places and stuff like that, but it's not the same.
Right.
You know, it's when Laurie goes downstairs again, like it starts getting really intense and suspenseful because like
Yeah.
she's injured, you know, her ankle's messed up, and then you know she's also like trying to escape him, but she can't get
Yeah.
out of the window. She has to wait for the elevator to get in there. And I
That's
think
the
that's
thing,
where
too.
the suspense really takes on.
Yeah. Laurie's like asleep throughout this movie
Yeah,
until she wakes up and has to run away from Michael again. That's not really like a complaint of mine, but I wish it was like it caught on to that point.
it like I said,
faster.
It feels like a lazy writing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I said, I was just like saying like they wrote this all in one shot, and I know that's not the case. But it feels like, you know, John Carpenter was like, oh, they want a sequel, I'll write it, fine. It's
Yeah.
like when he did Ghost of Mars or
Yeah.
things like that. Like he puts no heart into it, and it's shown.
Yeah.
I
I agree.
Because it's like, yeah, we want to see what's going to happen. Like, and Michael does go on a more rampage. We get that iconic scene of him entering the house and picking up the knife and the old lady screaming, and we get that in the new movie, and it's so much better than what happened in the Halloween 2. We get him walking around the streets a little bit more, which is great. And, you know, Loomis, we're talking about Loomis, he's just wielding a fucking gun
at everyone.
And he almost shoots a kid because he thinks that kid is Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And then the fucking the cop car just rams into that kid in the middle of the street.
Yeah, because he thinks it's Michael. Yeah.
He thinks it's Michael, and he bursts into the flames. I love how everything explodes.
Okay, first of all, the kid was
That's
very
John
drunk.
Carpenter.
He was very flammable. He was drunk.
Okay, so the alcohol in his blood made
Yes.
him flammable. Okay.
Yes, that's why he engulfed in flames. Just throwing it out there. Science.
There was 2 people dressed up as William Shatner that night.
Yeah. I think like, you know, and they don't really do anything about it. They take that body, you know, to the fucking doctor, and they had the dentist look at it to do dental records and all that. Like, there's just a lot of things that, like, yeah, they're cool, but like, it doesn't make a good movie. Like, I watched it and I was like, man, this movie is dragging. I looked at my phone a couple of times and be like, when the fuck is this over? Like, and the ending's not even that good.
Also,
You know,
it's
it
probably
ends-
November 1st by the time Halloween 2 like actually started. Just saying.
Yeah, like, just saying. Yeah, for
Not
real.
even Halloween night anymore. They should have just not
It's
done
fucking
it.
Michael. Go home. It's November. You need to stop now.
Yeah.
If you truly believe
Stop.
November 1st is Halloween too.
Looks at his watch.
I
Oh,
hate
time's
you.
up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, like, Dr. Loomis. Like I said, Loomis is what's his name? Donald
Pleasance.
Pleasance.
Donald
You know,
Pleasance, yeah.
He was fun in the first one. You know, he was
Yeah.
this weird. You know,
That line when he talks about
when he talks about seeing Michael and the darkest eyes, the devil's eyes. I love
by the
that.
way,
But
I should say sorry. I did like Loomis in the first one. Like he was.
Yeah,
yeah,
useless,
no,
but I
Loomis
did
is
like
a great
his
character.
Yeah.
No, like I said, it feels like lazy writing because it's like, why would his character like kind of? He's just there.
Yeah.
You know, he's just demanding, wielding a gun, shooting it.
He's
And all
the
this
one. He's there to be like the closest thing that understands why Michael does the things he does and where he like why is he.
It's driven him mad.
Yeah.
Okay, and then well,
But that's it.
But that's it. And then we get into the other weird shit that makes no fucking sense. They're trying to connect Michael and Laurie. They're related. There's a secret file that's been sealed.
Gasp.
Because Laurie's adopted parents didn't want anyone to ever find out that she's related to the Myers.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. That's dumb.
Wait,
Yeah, that's
could we just talk about that scene though? When he just puts the gun to the cop's neck.
Yeah,
And
what the
And
fuck?
he's like, "Don't you guys fire off a warning shot or something?" Just shoots his fucking window
Yeah.
out. Like, what?
I'm sorry, sir. You're under arrest. You're a fucking psychiatrist. What the hell
just
are you
point
doing?
the gun at the cop and go, "Oh yeah, you're right, man. Let's turn."
I mean, I guess it makes he dies at the end. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
he escapes, you know, going to getting arrested by burning alive. But yeah, I like. What do you guys think as Michael, like, as Laurie Strode being related to Michael Myers? Do you like that, or do you just like the fact that from the first one that Michael Myers is just this primal, you know,
Killer.
person that wants to kill? He needs to kill someone, and he's just upset, like a typical serial killer.
I think the primal Michael is way better because even if Laurie is or was his sister, by the time he was, you know, institutionalized, he wouldn't have known that his parents had any other kids anyways.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So he wouldn't know that Laurie's his sister, so he wouldn't have some sort of like vengeance
Yeah.
on her or anything like that. He would be
And-
completely oblivious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the Rob Zombie, they explained that that she was born before Michael went crazy and killed his older sister or whatever.
Yeah, that's how they played it off.
Yeah, but they never
Oh,
explained
so
that in
he
the
did
first
know.
movie.
He did know that.
Well,
she,
that was
They-
in Rob
yeah.
Zombie's
Yeah, that was in
version.
the
Rob
Zombies.
Zombies, yeah.
Yeah, which okay,
So-
yeah.
In this version,
Which
they
I
had a
hate talking
child. They had his parents had a kid after the fact.
Yeah.
Then they
Okay,
both died.
But where the fuck
and
was
she's
the baby whenever he killed his sister and his parents were out
Exactly.
on the date?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like-
There's just like it wasn't needed. I mean, and John Carpenter even to this day regrets.
Maybe the baby had a babysitter.
But no, John Carpenter even regrets that decision of writing that in. He's like, you know what? Now thinking about it, it's stupid. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. And then like thanks to that, you get this spew of garbage
Yeah,
for
the franchise
the
continues with
franchise.
that,
Where
yeah.
like, oh, his niece, and
His
he
niece
teaches
has
his
the
niece
evil.
how to kill and all this
Yeah.
bullshit. Laurie Strode dies, but then she comes back, and like what?
What?
You can't just kill these characters. Like, they're not Jason. They can't come back from the fucking dead.
Well, I believe H2O was supposed to. I think H2O was supposed to discanon the movies before.
Discanon Halloween 4 and Season of the Witch doesn't even count.
Yeah, that's a. We'll talk about that next year.
Yeah. But yeah, H2O. Jesus Christ.
H2O is like what? It was like a reboot, but it only was the only 2 movies were canon were the first 2 movies, and then H2O.
Yeah,
I believe.
Because Laurie Strode's alive. Jamie Lee
First
Curtis
of all,
is
stupid
back.
name.
H2O. You're not the fucking band from New York.
You're
Get
not
outta
water.
Here. You're not water. But I mean, like, that's real. Like, I really don't want to talk more. There's nothing more to talk about.
No, I mean,
let's
get on to the new one.
Yeah, he's killed. Like, he at the
what's
end,
everyone's rating?
fucking 20. Like the 2.
20.
It's not a good movie. I meant to say 2.
Mike's on this weird thing right now.
Yeah, I'm hot. I'm like high on
Sweaty.
candy right now.
Snacks.
I give it a 5.
Wow, George, you liked it, so I'm eager to hear what you say.
Dude, I did, man. I did. It's.
Fucking
I
weirdo.
definitely give it like 6 unnecessary explosions out of 10, dude. Like, honestly, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but like watching through it, like I just had fun with it. I liked the continuation of the story where like it kept going on the same Halloween night, and it was kind of like the after fact of the first one, and like seeing is like realistically, if this were to happen in real life, yes, she would go to the hospital, and if the
Yeah.
killer was like that deranged over like wanting to kill this human, like of course he was gonna go, and anybody who got in his way, well, like fuck them, I'm gonna fucking drown him in a hot tub. I had fun with it.
All right.
It's Halloween. You have fun with it.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
All right. Brock, Tanner, what do you think?
I mean, it's bad, but it's not like Birdemic bad. So
It's only one Birdemic.
I'd give it like a 2.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Well, it's the same score you gave it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how you guys are giving it a 2. I don't know if it's that bad, but
See, thank you.
I gave it a 5.
I wouldn't be scoring it much higher than a 2 if it wasn't for the hot tub kill. So I'm gonna give it a 5 based solely on the hot tub.
Thank you.
The
Hot tub
boiling
kill,
water.
5.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, like, can we talk about the lady that like was dripped to death? Like she bled
yeah.
out through a tube.
That was so
I thought that was
stupid.
so cool.
No!
Yes.
It would take forever.
And then Jimmy
would
slips in the pile of blood,
It would
and then
take-
makes it to the car, and then dies in the car. Excellent writing.
yes, George.
Hey,
perfect.
by the way, do you guys know of any hot tubs that can like get to boiling temperatures?
No, I don't actually.
How is that?
But that's industrial, so I mean, I guess
oh, okay.
industrial
Don't get any
hot
ideas,
tubs
but
are
So
able
they're
to
trying
go
to make
to.
giant pots of spaghetti.
Yes, literally.
gotcha.
That's how they feed everyone at the hospital.
Mutant
That's how they made
lobsters.
everyone in the
that's
hospital.
where they make the hospital
Yeah.
spaghetti.
What's for lunch today? Spaghetti. Dinner? Spaghetti.
That's why
Breakfast?
hospital food
Spaghetti.
is so
Hey, what's for
garbage.
dinner tomorrow?
Spaghetti.
Best
All right. Now I guess we'll get to the one that I've been waiting to talk about. Everyone's been waiting to see because there's been a lot of hype around people watching because they really enjoyed it. Some like it, some don't.
And honestly, neither of us have really talked to each other about it.
Yeah, we really
much
haven't.
either, so-
I mean, I confronted Patrick because he made a Facebook story saying I hated it.
Facebook story.
Instagram story. Excuse me. But yeah, Halloween 2018, directed by David Gordon Green, written by him and Danny McBride and Jeff Feenley.
And scored by
Franley. And scored by the man Carpenter himself.
There you go.
Sorry. I want to start off with the conversation with what a great intro. That reversing of the decomposing pumpkin was really cool.
Yes.
That was
Love
dope.
that.
The text on the
Whenever
screen
the-
too. I loved it.
Yeah. I loved that it's, as soon as the song played, I mean, I felt like I was watching Halloween.
Yes.
Like I was there. That's really what I don't
Yeah,
like
like
about
the
zombies.
revamped score was killer.
Yeah,
way
like,
more ambient.
It got you
and-
hyped.
Yeah.
I was in a packed theater and like everyone was like joking, having a good time, like talking certain parts of the movie, and it didn't really bother me too much.
Yeah, we'll discuss that later on.
But that intro, man, I was hyped.
Mm-hmm.
Starting it off with the investigative journalist,
Podcasters.
the podcasters. I really liked that.
I laughed when they said that. When they said that, I said, "No shit."
No shit.
Well, the
I
thing,
actually like
okay,
that.
so here's
It's
my
a cool-
first problem with the Halloween movie is that these podcasters just have three grand to throw around for special guests.
Yeah.
Because fuck you.
Yeah, so
That's
I,
not
like-
realistic. We ain't paying you guys shit.
Come on, Hollywood.
Like personally, like okay, first of all, I love Danny McBride ever since Pineapple Express. So
Yeah.
like I already had a bias because I actually liked Alien Covenant or whatever.
You're not alone.
Whatever the new one was. Was it Alien Covenant?
Yeah, that's
you're
it.
right. You're right. It's coming.
Yeah, I liked
That was
it,
dope.
and I liked Danny McBride, and so like I had a natural bias to anything he was gonna do, anyways.
Tanner has the hots for him.
So yeah, he's beautiful.
Nice.
So I went into it like really, especially because it's a Halloween movie, and also because I don't know about you guys, but this was the first Halloween like movie I've seen in a movie like from the franchise like that I saw in a movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I
So,
agree.
like-
I mean, except for seeing the original one, just being 40th anniversary,
Right.
but like an actual theatrical release. Yeah, no, this is my first time ever seeing
Same
it.
here.
Yeah. So like for me, like I'm sure for you guys too. Like I know I keep saying culturally, but like culturally, like that was huge for me. you
We
know,
live
like,
in a
I-
society.
yeah, I know. I like that was really cool. Like I don't know, just like
I
told
totally
Brock,
agree.
When we
Yeah,
walked into the theater, there was like at least 3 different generations of people in there. Like you
Hell
know,
yeah.
like people who like lived in the 70s and 80s and like who probably grew up with Halloween, and then they had like their kids, and then there was like grandkids. Like there was young kids in our theater, like seriously, like
That's awesome.
7-year-olds, and so.
Starting
Yeah,
young.
it was really interesting to see that. So like initially, like just like especially based on the intro, like I loved the whole beginning of this film.
Yeah. And I like that. I like when you go to the movie theaters, especially horror movies. And you see, I don't typically like young kids in movie theaters because sometimes they, young kids.
Not
talk
even young
and-
kids, teenagers.
Teenagers, goddamn teenagers. But I do
Mike's
like.
worst enemy.
Yeah,
high
my
school.
mortal-
Teenagers in a theater.
my mortal enemy. I become such a dad when those fucking kids are in this theater.
Oh my god, when we went to go see It Comes at Night.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's a funny story,
Dude, Mike almost jumped over the seats and literally like tackled these kids.
Don't talk in a movie.
Anyways, but before we get into the movies, like I'll tell you my experience in the theaters. Like everyone was talking at the right points,
Okay, same.
laughing at the right points, of course.
Same.
And, like it didn't take me out of the movie at all. It was so nice.
It was a good experience.
Yeah, it was a communal experience to watch this movie because I felt like everyone had like the same feeling I did when we were watching this movie.
Yeah. Like I said, back to like the beginning with
Yeah.
the podcasters, and
It's a nice spin
it
because
was a nice
it's modern.
spin. It's modern. It fits with the time. Podcasting's a big thing, so
And
I
it's
kind of liked
Of course,
it.
it's a podcast that's like wants to know the story of Michael Myers.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's not like it's not too far fetched. It's they probably just wrote the facility like, hey, we would love to interview the current doctor resigning over Michael Myers, and if we could meet him. I mean, they don't care.
Why don't we do anything cooler?
Did you watch the movie? That's why.
I like my teeth, George.
I like my teeth, George. Like they have the mask because the guy has a friend in the DA's
How
office.
did he get that?
He says it. I have
He
a
said-
friend in the DA office who.
Who in their right minds that work there will give that away?
Oh, you're going to see Michael? Yeah, dude, take the mask. It'll be a great time.
I mean, hey, bro, if you know people, you know
true.
people.
Not only
I
that,
mean,
but he
they
just
were
started screaming at Michael. I'd be like, if I was a doctor there, I'd be like, dude, you can't yell at my patients. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, there was a huge ethical, unethical, line going on.
But the
there.
part I did love is when he does reveal the mask and all the other people are
the
going
chaos
crazy,
reigns.
and it's so fucking sick because it's like that's the evil.
Yes,
Okay,
and I love that.
That scene was fucking badass.
That was so sick.
And
That
then
really
hits
got
you,
me.
title card. Fuck yes.
Yeah,
Even the dog got hype.
yeah, dude. And it really just plays on that whole he is pure evil.
Yes.
And I love that. I love that whole scene where everyone's just losing their fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
I like the Doctor. I don't see him
The
as
new Loomis?
I don't see him as Loomis.
He's a new Loomis.
He's not a new Loomis.
She says it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I
I
just
think
don't-
I think the movie was trying to be aware of the fact that people were going to say he was the new Loomis, and so the movie
Yeah.
wanted to be the first to say it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I agree.
Yeah,
He was totally new Loomis because he told those people, he's like, I'm a doctor, get back inside. And like, what the fuck?
Okay,
I'm not gonna listen.
okay, hold on, real talk. I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw him, I'm not joking, guys. I thought that was Joaquin Phoenix. Dude, I'm
That
telling
would've been
you,
so
look
fucking great.
Look at him and then look at Joaquin Phoenix. He looks like Joaquin Phoenix, like with gray hair and a mustache. I'm not kidding. I
That's
seriously thought that was him for like a quarter of the movie.
pull this up.
Jesus.
Oh,
That
God.
long?
But I mean, I
Maybe not a
like
quarter
how
of the
he loved his I like how the new Doctor he got lost in his obsession with Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Like, he really got into
got
it.
dark
Whereas
fast.
Loomis was like, he addressed it like, I was obsessed with Michael Myers, but then I saw that, like, there's nothing there. He is just pure evil. He's this monster, an animal. He always refers to him, other than a human, he refers to him to different things. And I liked that contrast where, like, this guy, yeah, he's obsessed with him, and he is a doctor, and he's Michael's doctor. But I love that he, like, went to a very dark place with his obsession. I think that's really cool, because I think that does happen from time to time.
Definitely.
Especially that's how you get copycats.
Yeah.
And that's really what he was trying to become, later on in the movie.
I'm looking at a picture right now. I'm not seeing Joaquin Phoenix, but
Really?
I didn't.
Oh.
I mean,
Maybe
all I
I'm
can see
tripping,
in
I
Joaquin
don't
Phoenix
know.
now is in the Joker fucking makeup. So.
Yeah. So I guess let's talk about, like, do you guys think the Doctor was in on the escape of the...
He had to have been, because he
people?
didn't die. He got shot later on by the kid. But
Don't shoot. Oh.
Dude, that scene was so fucking funny.
I want to be a dancer.
Yeah, I just want to dance, Dad.
I just want to dance, Dad.
God damn it, Dad.
I mean, I like hunting with you and all, but I just want to dance.
That kid killed me. The kids in this movie are great.
Okay. So
Okay.
This is what
Going
this is what
on that
happens
right
if you
now.
don't take a kid dancing.
the comedic
You get killed.
The comedic relief, did it ruin the
Some parts-
essence of the spooky, creepy Michael
Some
Myers?
scenes
Fuck
for
no.
me. Some scenes it did for me.
What about you guys?
Okay, so here's the thing: is the makers of this movie like clearly had a love for Halloween.
Yeah.
But I think that they were also trying to do fan service, not just for fans of like the first and second one, but also for they're like I'm just like pulling this out of my butt, but I feel like maybe they were trying to, because like some of the later ones, like the 90s and stuff, they had a lot of comedic relief in them, and they became like almost a parody of themselves. So I feel like maybe the makers of this movie wanted to, like I said, pay some fan service to that. I mean, because I thought there was a lot of really funny moments in it, but I don't know, maybe I'm full of crap, but that's just kind of what I was thinking.
I mean, I can see it. I can see what you're talking. Like,
No,
what you're
Resurrection's
bringing
full
up.
of humor.
Yeah, Resurrection's full of humor. Brock, what about you?
Sorry, I was taking a drink.
Oh, sorry. Finish your
All
drink.
right. So I mean, I don't think it ruined it by any means, because pretty much after every like little joke or like bit of comedic relief, like it hyped itself right back. Like it got right back into it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it didn't
I think
last.
there
So,
was
I mean-
some of the humor that took me out of it. That's it though. Like the wisecracking dad,
I mean that, but
the
that's,
butter on my penis guy.
that
I
was
don't know.
fucking hilarious.
I don't know. That
What?
to me was like
Okay, yeah, no,
cringy.
the dad got on my fucking nerves. Like I was stoked when
Yes,
he died.
thank
I was
you.
like, thank you.
I liked him.
Yes.
Yeah, you would.
I thought it was fucking funny. I thought I was like, that's a typical.
Oh,
that's such
there's-
a dad thing.
No. What
Yeah,
dad says? Oh,
every
there's
dad
peanut
gets
my
butter on
penis.
his dick.
I think
Yeah!
the penis thing was kind of weird for me, because like
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard my dad say, "Oh, I got something on my penis."
Yeah. No.
That,
No,
that was
I
a little
know.
bit.
It was a far fetch. It caught me off guard, so I laughed,
Yeah.
of course. But like, it was a bit
Penis.
ridiculous. Like it. I'm just sitting there eating fucking a bunch of candy, and his dad just has got butter on his dick, and or peanut butter on his dick, and I died.
How incompetent do you have
I
to
think
be?
shortly
like-
after he went to the dog too.
What was that?
What?
Someone said something. And
Oh
I
no,
didn't
I
hear
was
them.
just saying the dad was pretty incompetent to get peanut butter or whatever
Yeah.
it was on his penis. Like,
Exactly.
how do you
What
get
a
it
fucking
there?
idiot.
Julian fucking killed it for me. That little kid was hilarious.
Yes, that kid fucking
he clipping his fucking toenails
nasty ass nails.
Oh yeah, I loved him.
on the couch. And then like his babysitter, which I love because it's like a parallel to the original. Like
Yeah.
Right.
that
Kid
babysitter is literally playing a Laurie Strode character.
There were
in
so
Annie.
many references to the first
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, and I love that. And I love that they did that.
There's even reference to 3.
Yeah.
If you see in the scene where you see the Halloweeners and there's the 3 masks from Halloween 3.
Yep.
And I was like, oh fuck! I was the only one that laughed in that theater too. I'm like, oh look, it's right there, and everyone's like, what?
What did you say?
Huh? Halloween
Well, yeah,
3?
and I love those little touches because it makes
Yeah.
you like Tanner was saying, like they definitely love the franchise,
Yeah.
and it's shown by throughout these little nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
I love the rampage that Michael goes on once he
Yeah, of
gets to
course.
Haddonfield.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. Like, dude, first off, time out before all this, he killed a fucking kid. on
Yeah.
screen.
Yes.
And that
Not the
never
old lady.
That
Not the
never
old lady.
happens
Couldn't kill the old lady
in
on
the
screen.
U.S. With any U.S. release, you never really see
it was
kids
pretty
kill on screen.
intense. when
Until
that happened.
recently, this is a whole new era of horror where we're just killing kids now.
Yeah.
Kids are not safe.
They're not safe
kinda-
anymore.
I
kinda
really
didn't
thought
like
he.
it.
Well, I mean, I really thought he was gonna kill the baby too. Like whenever.
Yeah, well, they wanted you
Yeah.
to think that because
Yeah.
he
He
walked
wanted-
so close to it.
The director actually like spoke out about that recently after, of course, the film being out for such a long time. Well, a week. I shouldn't say a long time.
So long.
So long. And he was like, I felt like it would have been rude to do
Yeah.
that, but I feel like they did do it, and it's going to be in an unrated version
Oh,
of the
for
movie
sure.
because what's stopping him from killing a baby?
Nothing. He's killed a fucking kid.
Serial killers don't have they have no empathy, so
No
they don't
empathy.
they see a baby and it's just another thing for them to kill.
He
So
could
I
at
mean,
least kick it.
Me and Brock,
Actually-
me and Brock would probably disagree on that only because we've done stupid amounts of research on serial killers.
really
Well, yeah,
prove me
'cause, like,
wrong right now.
Well, and just in a lot of our serial killer episodes, like we actually discovered that serial killer, like a lot of them at least, Michael Myers is a totally different story, but a lot of serial killers kind of have a moral code and like they won't.
They have a specific like prey almost, and even the
Yeah.
ones
They
that
have a
do
type.
target kids, whenever like they're, during their interrogations, a lot of them refuse to talk about it. Like they don't want to acknowledge that they did that. Like they'll talk about
If they did kill a kid,
men and women, and their type that they really enjoyed and stuff like that. But if there were kids, they most of the time they didn't want to talk about it.
Which
then there
I'm
was
sure, I'm
Gacy.
sure Michael Myers would totally,
Right, yeah, and then
he
there-
would totally
there
be
was John
capable
Wayne
of
Gacy.
killing a kid. But like I don't know. I like to think that Michael Myers is a good bad guy. Like he's not gonna kill. a kid,
he kills, but he doesn't kill babies.
He's pure evil, but
He
don't-
kills
don't fuck with the
dogs
baby.
and humans, and adults and teenagers, but
And-
babies draw the line.
Okay,
So, and with that, like, you guys saying, like you're rooting, you're kind of not on Michael's side, but he's the star of the movie, right?
secretly, yeah, you're like wanting him
Yeah,
to
yeah.
kill people.
And I love the fact that this movie plays on that with Laurie's character, like the scene where, her granddaughter's looking out the window, and you think it's gonna be Michael Myers out the window, and
But
it's Laurie.
It's
And
Laurie.
I'm like, fuck yes.
And that's
Yeah.
that's tribute
That
to
was
the,
cool.
the
That was
original.
dope.
movie.
yeah.
There was another.
Also, I guess we should say spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't
yeah.
seen that.
This
Okay.
is a fucking
We're
spoiler
already into it.
podcast.
if they listen to this show, they know.
There was another reference that I really liked, and they called they were referring back to, the murders from '78, and he like the cop or whoever it was referred to the murders as the babysitter murders, and that was
Yeah.
actually one of the titles that they threw around.
Mhm.
Like Halloween
Yeah, that was the
could have been
one of
called
the
the
original
babysitter
titles.
murders. So I thought that was
Yeah,
interesting.
That's sick. I love it. Like I said, like if you're a true fan of Halloween and the franchise, like those little things they put in there that maybe like people who are just getting into Halloween really don't know. To us, it's like it's nice little treats.
Yeah.
It's just like,
And there was the
Nice little
iconic
Halloween
sheets,
treat.
the sheets on the clotheslines, and I was just like, oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. Like
do
there
it.
was so much there, like little tributes to the the past. And I like that they don't call this a reboot. It's not a sequel. It's a recalibration.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, it is fancy.
Mm.
I think one of my most favorite scenes comes later on. If we're still talking about Michael. Finally when the doctor, the doctor, slits the fucking sheriff's throat with a fucking
Yeah,
sick
caught me way
pin
off
knife.
guard. I was like, "What the
What a
fuck?
twist!
That
What are you
twist
doing?
that twist got me.
Stop
like,
it!"
I almost fell out of my seat. He gets in the seat. He gets back in the car and he drives Laurie. He puts Michael. I was kind of like saying, "Oh, a little out of reality. This guy's hurt. Like, how the fuck is he pulling this giant man and throwing him into a car?"
Yeah.
But we'll distort reality for the sake of a movie.
It's Halloween.
It's Halloween. But I love when he makes the doctor into hamburger.
Oh
I thought that
my
was
God.
That
sick
curb
as shit.
stomp
Yeah.
was so fucking brutal.
That took me off guard. I thought he
Yeah,
was just gonna
like-
smash his face. I didn't expect brains to shoot everywhere.
and also,
And
yeah,
that's what I love about the new movie is that it is unapologetically gory.
oh, it was
You-
so
you
gory.
You really don't get it. You never really get that with the Halloween movies. Like, yeah, there's some gore here and there, but like this movie was like, all right, no, we're gonna ramp up the gore factor,
Yeah.
but still give you that creepy feeling. I mean, come on, like when the husband goes to the sheriff's car, when he's, hey, did you find my daughter? And he opens the door and it's
the jack-o'-lantern
dead, the jack-o'-lantern. That was so sick. Like the kills in this movie alone
Dude, it's
awesome.
like, it's like,
Well,
hey,
yeah,
I just
and, like, I
bashed
know
your
it was in the
husband's fucking
trailer, but,
brains
like,
in.
even
Here's
the-
his teeth.
Yeah.
Even the bathroom scene again, like
Yes.
it had me on the edge of my seat. And when he just started like smashing the head, you start to see like the head cave in, and then like the husband falls on the corner, and you literally just watch him die. Like you watch him like shiver to try to get his girl, and then he's just gone.
Hey, you know, the only problem that I had with the head into a jack-o'-lantern thing was that stupid. I mean, it was okay, but that movie Terrifier totally beat them to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And maybe a
And
movie
I
has
just
done that
watched-
before,
I
but
just
I don't
watched
know.
it.
But like Terrifier
Yeah.
just came out, and so I was like, seen it, you know. But
I really
no
think
big
it showed
seen
the
it.
Martha Stewart inside Michael Myers.
well, yeah, he's so creative.
He's so creative. Here's a centerpiece for your holiday.
He's just trying to get everybody in the spirit of
See,
Halloween.
he's a nice guy.
Well, Martha
Um,
Stewart shares some things in common with him. So the prison,
That's
yeah.
true. They both in the in a
Yeah.
prison setting.
Yeah.
Oof. Another thing that I kind of want to touch since we brought up the bathroom scene, that kind of pays tribute to the Rob Zombie film.
Yeah.
You know,
And
there's a whole scene where Michael Myers goes into
Oh, that's right.
the bathroom and he kills the trucker.
Yeah.
And you kind of get that with this movie. Like, it's the same thing except for the girl is, you know, crawling away and there's more action than, you know, him just killing the... I can't remember the actor's name. But I kind of thought that was funny how they threw in a little bit of love to Rob Zombie that it really wasn't needed. Because I actually feel like their bathroom scene is better than Rob Zombie's.
Way better.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
I
intense.
think there's other bathroom scenes in other Michael movies though as well.
Is there?
I believe so. But
But
again, yeah.
as Zombieland says, you know, you're at your most vulnerable.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
If you're dropping a deuce,
I love the
and there's a
fact
deranged killer on the loose,
I love
watch
the-
out.
I
Dang,
love
man, I
the
poop a
fact-
lot. I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I love the fact that this movie still like holds true to like old horror movie tropes,
Yes.
and it pays respect to that.
Mm-hmm.
With that said,
Dude,
All right. No. Patrick has some words to say. It's about time. Patrick
Oh,
has
no.
expressed because he didn't like it, and the four of us
Okay.
loved it.
okay, I'm gonna correct you on that. I like this movie.
Okay. Sorry. He liked this movie.
I was disappointed at some things. Some.
Like, care to explain?
The teenager stuff I could not buy into. I did not like a lot of that was built up to get rid of her phone, get her to Laurie's house.
Okay.
Like a lot of things were just set up to get you to point A to B.
Aren't all things like that?
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
Some things have points.
not to interrupt, but I agree. Like,
Yeah.
it bothered me that the movie didn't like telegraph any reason for us to ever think that the boyfriend was going to be that much of a douche. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That totally.
I
caught
didn't
me
need the
off
teenage
guard.
drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, if you got rid of all the and I agree, if we would have gotten rid of all the teenage drama and just put more of badass Jamie
Laurie
Lee Curtis
And Michael. I
as
would love
Laurie
more.
Strode, I would have been 10 times happier.
Listen, but then we wouldn't have got one of the other sickest kills, which is when that fuckboy got hung on the
But that could
gate.
have happened.
Dude, what a shitty
saying.
night. Like, you get friend zoned and then you get impaled. Like,
I think I'd
Not
never
only
be
that, but you-
impaled.
Okay, he did it to himself.
He
all
really
right?
did.
He was out of line.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, my best friend just cheated on you. Time to swoop in."
Yeah.
You
Get
don't
outta
kick
here.
a girl when she's down. She's gonna fucking whoop your ass and make sure you get staked in the face.
Come on, man. She's a Strode. They're strong women.
It was
Like,
so classic
Yeah, they
too. He was like, "Oh well, I'm sure he's not that bad of a guy." And then like the next sentence, he's like, "Well, you deserve better." Like, it's just like,
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
I
pretty
was waiting
corny.
for
I was waiting
And
for
out-
her to be
out of
like,
nowhere,
I wish
he
I could
pulls a
find
fedora
somebody
out.
like you.
yeah,
he pulls a fedora out and
His
goes,
fedora comes out and his neck beard starts growing in.
and he goes, "Milady."
Pulls out his vape pen,
Yeah.
opens up the door.
Oh, God.
I would feel bad.
George has a jewel.
Oh,
If that
okay.
counts as
my
vaping.
my brother.
Okay,
has a
first of
jewel,
all, it got me to quit smoking cigarettes, so I'm not mad.
Right
That's
on,
not typically,
right
are you
on.
still smoking?
Not cigarettes.
What,
about
what
to
about
ask
what
you
about
this
your
right now.
fedora? Do you still sport the fedora?
No, I left it at home because Mike and Pat don't stop making fun of me.
You damn right.
Hey, we did a whole episode on incels, so
Yeah,
Really?
they did. They did.
That's fucking
Um,
funny.
So I mean, like before we go over to Laurie's character, overall, how did you guys like Michael Myers, and do you think they effectively made him the Shape again?
I agree. They did do that justice, and I just wanted. I wanted more him stalking.
Okay.
That's all I needed. I did not need the twist with New Loomis. I did not need any of the kid stuff.
Wait, that twist was so good though.
Okay,
I
it was a
did
good
not
twist.
like that.
It was a good twist.
I didn't like it.
I like that he like
I hate that they presented it and then it went nowhere.
the only reason why I think it's cool is because being around Michael, he like basically like that evil kind of like took him over as well, just being in his presence for so long.
They already expressed
So-
that in the intro though, with everyone going crazy.
Yeah, but then we had to see a guy get his hand.
Yeah,
I
but-
wanted to see a guy get his fucking neck slashed and then become hamburger meat.
Yeah.
He ran over the cop.
I know he did.
That was so badass.
I just didn't think that twist was necessarily like that crazy.
Okay.
Because I saw it right when it was about to happen. I'm like, he touched Michael way too fast for it to be like, oh, he's dead. And then he goes in. And I'm like, this is a setup for something. And then it set it up, and then it went nowhere.
Hamburger.
That's my only complaints.
Okay.
Other than that, I love this movie.
Okay. George, how do you think they did Michael?
I loved it, and I love the fact
Yeah.
that they touched on the whole like evil thing with the mask and like the whole thing of like him being in the presence of the mask and feeling it again, and like watching everybody get in range, like everybody around that was around like the shape,
Yeah.
basically like felt that evil and got compelled by it, and I just thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. How about you guys?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah,
Bob?
go ahead.
Yeah, so who was it that was saying that they hated the new Loomis?
Me.
Everybody.
Wait, no, that was me.
Wait, is that Patrick?
No, wait, I said I liked it. Just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I hated the old Loomis.
Okay, well,
Sorry,
so,
I'm the odd man out.
So like I really didn't I really didn't care for him. Like I was just kind of it didn't really matter to me. But I think the reason that they had him in the movie and in the original ones is because like he like Loomis the Loomis figure like kind of helps like facilitate the story he's kind of like the mechanism that like moves the story along because like Michael Myers doesn't have a voice, you know, and so
Yeah.
like Loomis kind of narrates the story for us in a way and kind of like helps the story progress because like I mean, you could say like, well, you know, Jason doesn't have a voice, but like his motivation is a little bit more clear. So I
Yeah.
think
I
like
mean,
that's
he also has his mother.
right, exactly.
You know, his mother is like this, you know, this background voice that you kind of like from the first movie. That is,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
always there.
Yeah. So like I think that's kind of like the purpose of the Loomis figure. The teenagers, I didn't really like. I don't know, like several of those actors and actresses are kind of like they've been in a lot of stuff lately, and so I think probably like they were trying to add some pop culture charm into it, but like. Because like I had a friend on Facebook who was criticizing the new movie about like, well, why was the granddaughter character even in the movie? You know, like what
I
was
was
the
fine
whole
with her.
what was the whole purpose of her? But first of all, like if there's gonna be a sequel, well, she's gonna be like a key player in it. But also, her being in it, like her and her friends, like they helped provide a body count for
Yeah.
for Michael
that's true.
Myers. So
And that's
like,
their purpose is
we have
bodies
to have
for
kills
Michael
like
kill.
and the movie and the
Yeah.
reason we had to have a lot of kills and gore is because like the movie addressed itself. Like the movie was totally aware of itself and the fact that it's 2018 and a guy with a knife after like Columbine and 9/11 and like terror,
It's
like,
not a big deal.
It's not scary anymore, and so like the movie
Yeah.
was aware of that, and I love that when movies know what they are and know what they're doing,
Yes.
and they are like
was-
they address it. And so like that's why there had to be gore and there had to be like a high body count, a lot of people dying. So
I could
Anyway.
not have said any of that better.
yeah. So to wrap it up, I really enjoyed this movie. It was definitely my second favorite out of the entire franchise. I wish all of the other ones had never been made and only this one had been made. and I also I don't see how anyone could hate Michael in this one because it's the same freaking guy. Like if anyone can play Michael, this guy can.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really
think it's
enjoyed
for
it. And
most of the scenes was the original guy.
yeah.
No, I think there was a couple of shots where it was someone else.
It's probably a stunt guy.
Yeah.
And I
exactly.
gotta say, I loved Laurie Strode. I'll always love Jamie Lee Curtis, but I loved her in this
Yes.
movie. However, my only little problem with it, and I know it's movie logic, but like I just can't imagine like after 40 years, like she's, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't invalidate someone else's experiences, but like, I don't know. 40 years is a freaking long time.
And I see where you're going because a lot of people have been talking about like how Laurie Strode is in this movie, and they were kind of saddened by how she's so traumatized by her past. But like, you have to think about like her character. Like, she was stalked and brutally, almost like all her friends were killed, and she was almost killed and attacked by this deranged killer.
Very true.
You know, and
he was
no
still
one
alive.
else, and he was still alive, and like he's out there, and it's just that, you know, as a victim, as a survivor, you know, you're like, he's out there, and you know, and it is gonna eat up you, you know, like it's gonna change your course of life. Like your life is no longer the same. Like you do have that little edge on, like, over your shoulder, because like, you know, what if he gets out? Like, so I can understand like why, you know, her PTSD really factored in how her life became. Now, was it did it seem a bit extreme? Maybe. But then again, how can we, like you were saying, Tanner, how could we, as you know, ourselves determine what she is going to do in the result of the events that happen to her? You know, everyone kind of breaks down what happens to them in very different ways. And her way was, you know, I'm going to make sure that this never happens to me ever again.
Or my family.
Or my kids.
And that's what I love about this movie. Like, because now that we live in this era of very, like, female empowerment and female roles.
I mean, always in horror.
Yes, but now it's
more so.
Yes. I think Hollywood needs to take a note on this movie and how they dealt with Laurie's character.
Yes.
Because not only is she strong and powerful, but, like, she's vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
She feels it.
She's emotional.
She's emotional.
Rightly so.
She's scared to fucking do this, but she has to do it.
Well,
because
and it
that's the only
shows
answer.
too when she first goes, when like the bus is leaving, she was there, and like she
Yes.
even goes, she like breaks down, and like she thought
breaks down the dinner
she
table.
thought she was ready, and then she just breaks down. And she's like, oh, I thought I could do it. I thought it was like
Yeah.
I was like right there, and I just couldn't pull the trigger, and it's just like
So,
fuck, like.
And then we have that, and then we have Laurie's daughter who has trauma just from being raised under those conditions.
Yes.
Which is beautiful. Like, they did it well, and I felt like the movie could have dug a little bit deeper than that. With everyone's psyche, with both Laurie and her daughter's relationship.
That's why I corrected
And
myself.
now with the granddaughter having this experience under her belt too now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what I think.
Strode curse.
And I will discuss, like, with the ending of the movie where she holds the knife, and everyone's discussing, like, is she, like, have the evil? I'm like, no, she's just now dealing with. She just went through what Laurie did.
Her grandmother
So now
did.
that's carrying on through generations now.
Yes.
Right.
And I feel like that movie did it well. I wish it would just expand on it a little bit more.
I love her fucking house, that trap. Like, I
love
loved
too.
it. Like, this was
It's
never
not a panic room. It's a trap.
It's a trap. And when they hit that button and those spikes came, I was like, oh my fucking god.
Not only that, when she's looking, and we'll get to their thoughts about that too. When she's walking through the house looking for Michael.
Yes.
When he finally shows up at the house.
Suspenseful as fuck.
Very suspenseful. Very well done. And there's a lot of callbacks to the original movie with the closets and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I love that every room that she went into, she's like, he's not here. Close.
Yeah. Oh, and even if he was, like, you're stuck now.
And that's when I knew, like, this movie, like, I'm like, this. She lured him into the house to trap him.
Yeah, and that was someone's problem, was like, he got into the house so easily. I'm like, she
wanted
wants him in the house.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole point.
Now Laurie's plan is very, very loose. There's a lot of loose ends because the front door wasn't locked, and that's how he got her in the first place. And slammed her fucking face on it. But
I mean, hey, there's.
But hey.
Hey. What do you guys think about Laurie? Brock, I know we didn't get to hear your thoughts. So,
well, I mean, as far as Michael Myers goes in this one, what I thought was really interesting, especially since this one picks up after the first one. So especially if you're just looking at the first movie and then this one, Michael got way more strategic, and I think it's because he recognized that Laurie like upped her game, so he like upped his because like whenever he got to her house and she was, she blew off part of his fucking hand with a shotgun. And so,
oh my god, yes,
he's like leaving this blood trail for her, and he's aware of it. And then like she opens a closet, and it's her son-in-law up on the top shelf. Like he was totally playing with her, like he knew what was going to happen. So I really love like that cat and mouse going back and forth between them.
I was gonna say he's like a cat.
It was really interesting and cool to see like that side of Michael. Like he's not just this brute force like trying to kill, but like he can think of the best way to do it. Yeah. So I really enjoyed that. I mean, I really enjoyed Laurie's character in this one. I thought she was emotionally unstable and totally badass, and like she killed it. I really went into this movie expecting her and thinking that she was gonna die. Like I thought they were gonna kill
Right,
her
Really?
off.
Me too.
And so like every time
thought so,
she
too.
almost died, I was like, "This is fucking it. This is it." And like it never happened.
I would have cried. I honestly
But
think I would have cried.
I fucking love that she pulls the same tricks on him when she falls out of the roof, and he
And
looks
then
at her,
and then she
sees her there,
disappears.
and then she disappears.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
just
fuck
like the
yes.
first
Yeah, the
movie.
tables
it was
have
so
turned.
cool.
Yeah, I love that.
And that's what I meant. Like, what I loved about this movie, it's like it switched the roles a little bit with Michael.
It really
and Laurie.
did.
Definitely. It's not
in the best
In-
way
in-
possible.
in the
It
best
didn't
way-
co-
I
it didn't
agree.
come off corny.
it's it's no longer Michael looking for Laurie. It's Laurie looking for Michael, and Michael's hidden. And that fucking scene with the mannequins, that was scary. I actually
yeah.
jumped.
I
I
mean,
was
too.
oh shit. Like that was an effective scare.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like a real like we all have like the same thoughts. And we enjoy this movie. We all seen the ending. They trap Michael and they turn on the gas and they light the house on fire to burn him alive. But
And then
we
when it
see
goes
him
back,
burning.
yeah, he's gone.
He's gone.
God
So-
damn it, he did it again.
I
Did you
ask
stay for the
you.
Did you stay for the credits?
There was after credits.
Oh yes, there was.
Wait.
Hold on.
Wait,
Hold
what?
on. What?
Wait, what?
Wait, did none of you stay for the?
There was
credits?
after credits.
Yeah.
What happened right
You
now?
literally-
I didn't stay.
You literally just hear Michael breathing.
Yep.
Yep.
You just hear the breathing through the mask.
I'm gasping.
Okay. I just heard today that Jason Blum, is that how you say it? Is it Bloom or Blum? Either way.
Blum.
Blum. Okay, he said that if they make if they get the money, if the money makes it look like it's gonna work out.
Oh,
Weird.
it's
I
making
wondered
fucking
if they
money.
did it.
If they make the money, get
But
the
yeah,
fuck out of here, Jason.
Yeah. But he said if that all works out financially, then they will do a sequel.
Yeah.
And I'm totally okay with
Did
that.
you think they were just gonna make another movie and that was it? I
Yeah.
knew this was gonna be a franchise.
Well, it's
I
like
knew they were gonna up.
how many more years does Jamie Lee Curtis have in her though? Like she's
I'm pretty
getting
sure she's
old.
gonna die in the
Okay,
next
first
movie.
of all, did you see her? She's still fucking hot.
Yeah, she's fit,
and she's
for
still
sure.
kicking.
She's fit, but it's
She's-
like they need to do this. If they're gonna do this.
Yeah, if they're gonna
Yeah.
do this, they need to play it like Scream 4 and pass it down or something.
Yeah.
Which I think which is the granddaughter and the mom's role
Yeah,
in this movie.
yeah.
It's
And
the,
I
it's
love
the pass of the torch.
And I love the mom where she's like, "Mom, I can't do this. I
love
can't.
that.
I can't do it." And then Michael pops up and says, "Got
Gotcha.
you."
I love
Boom.
that
And I was
too.
like, "That's fucking."
and then
sick.
right there, Laurie comes back and she's like, "Happy Halloween,
Halloween, Mike."
motherfucker!"
Yeah.
And then
man, fuck anyone that doesn't like this movie. This movie
that's what I'm
was
saying.
great.
I'm
just kidding, y'all.
I
You-
pulled
you-
the very disappointed thing. I was for some of it, but I did love this movie.
The movie's
That's the
fun.
thing. Every movie is going to have things here and there that
Yeah.
certain people don't like and that bother you more than others. But at the end of the day, I don't think there is a bad movie in the hour and 40 minutes.
No,
No,
none of
no,
this is
no.
bad.
No,
No.
it's great. It's fucking
It's
fantastic.
just a lot of it. It's just like I went with high expectations, and that's my bad. Dangerously high expectations.
Yeah, that's your bad.
And
Well,
that
that's-
is my bad. And going back and coming back to that world, I just felt like it was just missing a lot of things that I was expecting to see.
I mean,
And again, that's all on me.
that's yeah.
I just love that 40 years isn't long enough to prepare for Michael Myers. That's how powerful he is.
Yeah, he's a fucking he's a force reckoning,
He still
man.
shows up in
Reckoning force.
Rex shop. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he the body count is amped up.
Yeah.
The characters are well fleshed out.
Some of them.
Some of them are, some of them rightfully so. Some of them they
The
don't.
the two cops about the sandwich.
Yeah, dude, that was
I
hilarious.
fucking
Oh, I loved it. But I mean,
what
like
is it
a
bag-
brown. He had a brown. He
a-
had a brownie and some fucking chocolate
a
pudding.
special brownie probably.
Probably.
And what was it? What was the
Hey.
sandwich called? A baguette with a peanut. I got you a peanut butter baguette. Or
Oh
something.
yeah,
Whatever.
something like that.
So I didn't.
They were just trying to make you
Again,
like
this
someone
movie,
to kill.
It respectfully takes all the horror tropes that we've grown to know, and some of these, especially slasher films, they love these rules. This movie kept it with that. Again, my only complaint is some things didn't happen that I was expecting to happen, and I wish they would just flesh out Laurie's and Michael's dynamic a little more. But
Yeah.
that's it.
But then again, we would love to hear all of our listeners from both shows.
Yes.
Tell us what you think of this movie. Have you seen it yet? If not, why the fuck were you listening to this episode? How do you think that they actually developed Michael? Did you like him? Were there things that you would like to seen or not seen? Did you like Laurie Strode? What do you think is going to be a sequel, if any? If they don't get a sequel, I'm happy with how this movie ended.
yeah.
Sometimes things don't need more. Too
You know
much.
there's gonna be a whole
Sometimes too much
franchise after
is
this.
not. You see what happens when you get more of something that's too good.
Yeah,
It
but
starts
that's
to
not
dwindle.
Hollywood logic. So as long as it makes
Yeah,
money in the
no,
box
it's like,
office,
oh, this is
we're gonna
bad.
have
Let's give it
more.
20 more.
And you get a Saw, and you get a Saw, and you get a Saw.
All
Yes.
right.
Saw
So what's
movies.
everyone's score on the new movie? And we got to answer the question:
Yes.
is this a better sequel than 2?
Okay. So my score, I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
All right.
George,
I give it 9 curb stomped heads out of 10.
Nice.
Patrick,
A 7.
7. Tanner,
Shoot, I'd probably go with like maybe an 8.
an 8.
As a
And then
horror
Brock.
movie, an 8, but as like a Halloween movie, as part of the franchise, I'll give it a as a horror movie, yeah, okay, as a Halloween movie, a 9. There we go. That's my official
Okay.
answer.
Cool.
Nice.
I was gonna say
And then Brock.
I'd give it 8 impaled incels.
Yes, he made your thing better, George.
Hey, they were both good.
All right.
Okay.
So how do you guys feel about this being the ultimate sequel to the first Halloween? Are you for it? And do you want the franchise to continue?
I am for this movie being the direct sequel to Halloween
Okay.
over Halloween 2.
All right.
I agree with that.
Oh, you want to hear mine? I was waiting for
Whoever,
I'm
honestly.
waiting for everyone to answer.
All right, Tanner.
Yeah, I loved it as a sequel to the very first one. Don't make a sequel to this movie.
Agreed.
Don't do it.
I second that.
Don't.
Okay.
I could go for a sequel to the sequel, but definitely Halloween 2018 deserves a rightful spot as a sequel.
Okay.
I'll watch the sequel.
And Brock, do you agree as well?
Yeah, I totally agree with Tanner.
Okay. And then Patrick, give us your words of wisdom.
Let them have this sequel.
Let them have.
We can get rid of the Halloween franchise. Then let's see what they do with this one.
Okay. I think that's fair, valid. We'll see what they can do. Give us a sequel. No, give us a sequel. Whatever happens. Thoroughly enjoyed the film.
I'm content.
And like I said, I personally like hearing what you guys think. I think it's awesome when you guys write us and tell us your thoughts on these movies. So definitely keep doing that, and I would love to see a more deeper discourse with our listeners
I would
on
definither want to
on
see
Halloween.
I want to see in the next movie more atmosphere.
More
atmosphere.
Laurie Strode.
More atmosphere, more Laurie Strode. Other than that, guys, if you're listening to this episode right now, that'd be Thursday. If you're in the Orlando or Central Florida area, come hang out with us at Spooky Empire.
Yes.
We're doing a panel on October 26th where we're going to be discussing horror then and now. It's a discussion for fans, so you can interject whenever you want. We're going to walk through a lot of different vintage and modern horror movies and kind of deconstruct them. And then on Saturday, the 27th, we will be doing our live podcast while we watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
So if you ever wanted to be on the show, now's your time.
Now's your time to be on the show live. You can say pretty much whatever you want, unless it's stupid, and then I'll hit you with a plushie or something.
That's fair.
And it's fair. A plushie, it's not going to hurt you or anything. And then, of course, on Monday the 29th, we are hosting Director's Dram Night at the Courtesy Bar, and we will be showing movies from none other than Terrence Fisher. So we'll be showing
That shit's
Horror
so
of
cool.
Dracula.
I wish we had gigs like that in
Seriously.
small town Texas.
Hey,
Let's
you
start
can
it.
make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
let's
make
open
it
up our
happen.
own bar.
If you believe,
host our own horror
Let's open
nights.
up our own book. And we will come all the way to Texas and have fun with you guys.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
fuck yeah.
But other than that, guys, it has been another weird, hairy, and sweaty episode of the Horror Junkies podcast.
Horror Junkies
With
podcast.
our collab friends from the
Mortuary
Center of the Big
podcast.
Estate, the Mortuary podcast. Hey, this is your host, Chills, and I have some things to show you. You guys ever watch Chills videos?
No.
Nope.
No,
No,
don't,
God, no, don't.
You're alone.
His voice will make you cringe. That's all.
I mean, was that a good
Cringy
impression?
stuff.
I don't know.
It wasn't that great.
Yeah, no.
You had to hear it for yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, if you're listening to our show, check out the Mortuary podcast. They're a great bunch of guys. They talk about some spooky stuff.
Ooh, spooky stuff.
Spooky stuff.
Spooky stuff. So okay,
and
so
we'll post all their
next
stuff in our.
next crossover, are we doing like a serial killer? Are we doing some occult activity? What are we doing?
Ooh,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
could.
Oh, you guys,
Yo.
pick, you guys pick, and we'll do it.
Yeah, okay, sick.
I could fuck up a good bowl of cereal. Let's do that.
Let's do it.
What?
Because he said serial killer.
Oh,
Yeah.
God damn it.
over my head. Just over my head. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this week. Stay tuned for next week, which will be our Halloween episode.
George, stop with the dad jokes.
Yeah, George.
Bro,
And
they're funny.
as always, stay weird.
I forgot to put on deodorant. Bye.
Bye.